Good evening and welcome to Jack Ryan Field here at Bishop Hartley High School tonight. It is a fantastic CCL matchup as the Hartley Hawks get ready to take on the Stallions of St. Francis DeSales. Bob McElligott with Randall Sampson here. And Randall, what a better night. It is a beautiful night weather-wise, and you have two teams that can't wait. You have one team that's been waiting since the regional championship game last year to try to get revenge for that. That is the Bishop Hartley Hawks.
And they have a big chip on their shoulder as they're ready to go tonight. And I thought the temperature is going to be a little bit cooler. The air temperature is cooler, but the field is so hot right now. You can feel it out there. The heat is coming off of the turf, and they are ready to go.
All right, let's look at some of the key players as we get set for the kickoff here tonight between these two league rivals who are getting set to go head-to-head. As the Hawks, you can see they're already out there lined up. They will receive the opening kickoff. And DeSales coming out to kick that away. Out here to kick the ball away. DeSales getting ready. They've got it teed up at the 40-yard line. Joey Bangert handling the kicking duties here tonight. Trey Saunders, he is one of the deep men for the Hawks. Richard Kenny is the other. As per the norm for those two guys, it'll be a short kick. Deshaun Tucker takes it at the 25-yard line. Tucker, full head of steam, gets stood up and brought down at the 40-yard line. It'll be good field position for the Hawks to get things started here. And
that's what you call a battering ram right there. So this is the quintessential Game of Thrones in Ohio. You have two elite programs like this. 7 championships between both of them, 4 for Hartley and 3 for DeSales. And they are just going to go at it all night long until the last second.
Talked about Hartley waiting for this game since the regional championship last year. These two teams met 3 times last year because of the COVID season, 2 regular season matchups, and the one in the playoffs. DeSales won all 3 of those meetings en route to the state championship game where they lost that game. But they were a really good unit last year. They have a lot of guys back from that team. And the Hawks, well, they do remember. Let's see as they start on offense what they can do. 1st and 10. Quick handoff. Niall Johnson coming to the right side. Turns the corner. 45, 50-yard line. He's got the first down as he gets knocked out of bounds at the 48.
And it looks like the big guys up front finally are getting an identity. They sealed that edge off and maintained that edge. And there was a sea of blue just coming around that edge.
Well, the Hawks with Niall Johnson in the backfield, he is their featured tailback. He will get the bulk of the carries, but they love to mix it up. And Dylan Newsom is back in this lineup. It is for the second time, just a second time. He was injured. He returned last week against Norwalk. They didn't use him on offense, but they've got him in there on offense tonight. He's a key player that they have been without over the first 4 weeks of the season.
Well, big-time players step up in big-time games, so we'll see what he does.
1st down and 10. Underwood, handoff on the delay to Trey Saunders. And Saunders trying to pick his way forward. Great job. He took what looked like it might be a run for no gain. He turned it into a gain of 6.
And that's where that speed comes in, where he can stop on a dime and accelerate. And he wiggles really well with those loose hips. And then he just explodes right through the hole.
It was a great start last week, or a great game last week, I should say, for Trey Saunders. He had a couple of huge receptions, also ran the ball well. And that's what they look for him to do week in and week out. Again, the real key to this Hartley offense is the number of different weapons that they can throw at you on a nightly basis. And we've seen a couple already with Johnson and now with Trey Saunders.
And it looks like Hartley's coming out just to establish that edge. They want to dominate that edge.
Fake a handoff throw to the near side. Saunders with a catch at the 40. He gets inside the 30-yard line, breaks the tackle, but steps out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Another big first down as Peyton Underwood completes his first pass of the night.
And that was an easy pitch and catch. Just getting your speed in space and let the speed guy do what he does best.
You talked about getting to the edge. Yes, you can do that with a running back, but you can do it very easily with a short pass like that. That's kind of like that extended handoff, as you will, or if you will, to get it out to Trey Saunders and let him just turn the corner.
Especially when you have a Ferrari out there with some fresh wheels on it, he's ready to go.
Another first down and 10 as the Hawks are marching down the field on their very first offensive possession. Here comes a handoff. Johnson up the middle, and he gets slowed down, but he bounces off a tackle and he gets to the outside. Now Johnson, 15, 10, 5. Johnson with the touchdown.
And that's the gut punch that you want right there. Your guys against theirs, it was just hat on hat. Who's the toughest in the middle? They softened it up, went straight up the middle, and the running back just found that crease when he bounced outside. And with this strong running back, you really have to get your hands on him. You can't do an arm tackle. He's too strong.
25-yard touchdown run for Niall Johnson. That caps off a 60-yard touchdown drive for the Hartley Hawks. Alex Gabriel attempting the extra point. Gabriel puts that one up, and that is through. 7-0. The Hawks have the early lead after only one offensive possession here tonight.
I'll tell you what, that was a great run, and the awareness of a Trey Saunders on the edge to continue that block as a wide receiver when you don't have the ball, and to spring your guy knowing that he's not even coming your way, but you're going to continue to engage on the block. That's great.
Well, the Hawks, the way they come out and they strike first, now they force the Stallions of St. Francis DeSales to respond here. And now it is going to be the Hartley defense that we'll get a look at for the very first time tonight. But there is not a better way to start the game than that, Randall. They came out and they just established. Every play, in essence, was a first down play. They had the 6-yard run by Trey Saunders, but every time they got the ball, they moved the chains, and then they get the big run for the touchdown.
Absolutely. And I tell you what, even the nuanced little things like the extra point, seeing the kicker with confidence, every time I see this kid, he gets better and better kicking the ball, and he looks really smooth. And it's going to come down to one game where he's going to have to win it with his foot, and I think he has the confidence now where he can actually pull that out.
Rashay Smith is one of the deep men. The other is Jackson Carowin, and that ball is through the end zone. You were talking about the kicker, Alex Gabriel, and the confidence. This is one thing he does quite well. Get the ball into the end zone on the kickoff, which immediately limits the other team to start at the 20-yard line.
And your defense appreciates that because now you know you have a solid start, where you need to start and what you need to defend versus defending a short field if the guy gets loose.
So the Hawks come out on defense to see if they can stop the offensive attack of DeSales. Whit Hobgood, the senior quarterback, 6'3", 210 pounds. He's the engine of their offense. There's no doubt about that, especially with Jonathan Thompson out with an injury. And he goes with a handoff on a counter play, and that one is carried over the 20, maybe to the 23-yard line. Gabe Caruso, the junior running back, taking that ball and picking up a couple.
And I'll tell you what, that defensive end over there stayed home, did his job, did his responsibility, and let the tackle squeeze over. That was a great defensive play.
2nd down and 7. Hobgood with the empty set backfield, trying to draw the defense off sides. Got a 5 receiver set here for DeSales.
Looks like Hartley was trying to adjust there with that trips up top.
Hobgood under pressure, runs away from it to the far sideline, looking for the sticks, and he gets out of bounds, and he gets knocked down. And a flag comes in extremely late. And I believe Sherrod Bowens may be called for the hit out of bounds.
Yeah, and the big fella's got to realize his place on the field and be able to pull off. That was out of bounds, probably about 6 yards by the time they went down.
Dead ball, personal foul on the defense. 15-yard penalty, first down.
Well, that's a gift, unfortunately. They do earn the first down, and then you give them 15 more yards. So basically turns out to be, 22-yard play, and the ball gets out toward midfield. And that's one thing about this game. That's one of the keys of this game. You have got to control your emotions, because when you're playing your biggest rival, you have to make sure to keep it in check. You don't want plays like that.
Absolutely, and you can't give away plays like that in this kind of game.
So here it is, 1st and 10. Hobgood puts a man in motion, hands it off to Caruso, and he is trying to go over the right side, and there's nowhere to go. Gain of 1.
And that Hartley defensive line got a good jump there. I think they got a millisecond ahead of the snap, and before they got into that zone. So it really caught that offensive line off guard.
Anthony Murphy in on the stop. They give him forward progress ahead for 2, so it's 2nd down and 8. Caruso, lone man in the backfield, now goes Just side saddle here to Hobgood, who takes a snap, and he hands it off. Caruso gets by the first man, and he's got the first down. Finally, Anthony Murphy wraps him up and takes him down inside the 40 at the 38-yard line. Deshaun Tucker was the guy that had the early chance, but Caruso just ran right by him.
Yeah, and that's a case of where you're just so excited to make that tackle, and you step in the hole, and you look at the wrong thing. You got to keep focused on that running back.
First down and 10. As DeSales is now marching offensively, just as Hartley did. Hartley leads 7-0. Hobgood with a handoff. Caruso trying to accelerate, and this time he can't get away from the tackler. Dylan Newsome able to shoot the gap from his linebacker position, makes a shoestring tackle after a gain of 1.
And that's one of the things that you got to enjoy when a linebacker runs downhill like that so fast. That means your defensive line is doing their job. They're engaged with that offense and holding them up and creating that space for that linebacker to shoot through. That's the thing. Hartley has to put together a string of plays here. They get the first, second down, get them behind the chains, and then they let one go. And we'll see if they continue to get them behind the chains.
Here's a snap, look to the left. Hobgood goes back to the right side. He's got the man coming back on the curl for another first down as Newsome is able to make the tackle at about the 26-yard line. But coming back to get that ball, Antonio Armistead Jr. makes a catch and runs it for the first down.
Yeah, DeSales had some good window dressing, so they put a guy in motion out here to a trips, and then they did a slip screen at the top into the boundary.
Another first down and 10. Liam Harmon takes the ball this time, and he is stopped immediately. Sherrod Bowens in there on the tackle, and with him Andrew McFeeters. You know, Bowens, he has been playing at the linebacker spot with Newsome being out the first 4 weeks, but now he moves back up to the defensive line, and this is where they can just kind of let him run free, because as a linebacker, he was doing great things. Now, his job, rush the quarterback and stop the ball carrier. Hobgood trying to go around the right side. There is Bowens, catches him from behind and he brings him down, and DeSales is going to be looking at a third down and long.
And it looks like the initial DeSales plan is to go after Andrew and go off to that side of the line, staying away from the fast twitch bear on this side, Tucson. So we'll see if we can get a good pass rush up here.
Here they go. They're going to spread it out again. 4 receivers set. Caruso's the running back. Hand it off to Caruso. A little bit of room, and Deshaun Tucker comes up there and he makes a tackle. They ran him to the left side. They had 3 receivers out there to block, and I don't know what he saw, but it looked like he started to slow down, make a cut. He started to fall, and Tucker was right on him.
Yeah, he tried to go back to the same play that they had that 12-yard gain on. So he let Tucson commit to the dive, and then it's one-on-one out there, and it was just a good tackle this time by the linebacker. He filled, he ran right through the engine, which is the legs, and brought the running back down.
4th down and 5. You have to make sure that you stay on sides here. That's one thing. And now we're going to have a whistle, and a timeout is called by Bishop Hartley. Now, you can't make a mistake here, Randall. You went down the field with the ball. You scored the touchdown. They're coming back trying to do the exact same thing. You got a 4th down and 5. They lined up. You got to see how they lined it up. Now you can take the timeout and try to neutralize whatever they are doing. So timeout on the field. We'll take a timeout. 6:15 to go here in the opening quarter. Hartley leads 7-0, and this is Bishop Hartley Hawks football. Tonight's game is being brought to you by Score on Air and the Ohio Media School, Dr. Hutta and Price Orthodontics, the Lance and Eileen Porter Foundation, Brick League Apparel, Ohio Athletic Performance, and Green Lawn RV.
Can you see yourself working on TV, radio, or social media? As media professionals, we make our voice heard. Call the Ohio Media School and be a part of something bigger than you and me. You'll train and get the skills you need to work in TV, radio, social media, film, and much more.
I graduated and now am working as a director of marketing at a local radio station. My future is set.
Call the Ohio Media School now and be a part of something bigger. 614-723-9675. 614-723-9675.
4th down and 5 for St. Francis DeSales. Empty set for Whit Hobgood. The senior quarterback takes the ball, has time, steps up, makes a throw, and that ball is incomplete. Deontay Hubbard on the coverage as he was trying to get it to Gabe Caruso out of the backfield.
Yeah, and what really causes this play is everybody stays in their lanes as far as the defensive line rushing. So it forces the quarterback to step up, and when he steps up, he comes late with the ball.
Looked like Trey Saunders may have gotten a hand on that ball. I'll tell you another thing that factored in that play. Hobgood stepped up because he felt the presence of big number 66, Daniel Tucson, coming in from behind.
I'll tell you, that kid is a beast. He has some fast twitch muscles that you don't see at this level. And he reminds me of Ed Oliver that plays for the Bills when he was down at the University of Houston. Just a spark plug of an individual that gets off the ball quicker than a cat.
So it's a turnover on downs, first down and 10 for the Hawks. They're going to start from their own 21-yard line. Underwood with a pitch to the near side. Newsom, he'd like to turn the corner, and he just couldn't quite break that tackle. It looked like he might be able to do it, but on the second effort, the Stallions were able to make the tackle. Amarian Conte makes the play.
Dylan Newsom, forced out of bounds by Cameron Gwynn.
And actually, that comes with just practice and having patience and getting feel for it. Once you get back into those reps and feel that, he'll be okay, because he was really trying to bite that corner when he had a cutback lane where you can take your 5 yards and live another day instead of trying to get around that corner where you only get 1 yard.
Newsom again in the backfield. Deontay Hubbard goes out to the slot on the left side. They put Trey Saunders in motion. They're going to hand it off on the quick hitter to Newsom. He goes right up the middle. He gets over the 25 and to the 26-yard line. That'll leave a 3rd down and 5 for the Hawks.
And you got to love how Newsom runs in that middle. He just bangs it around. You know, he goes to that boom, boom, boom. And he's just a ping pong ball in there.
Niall Johnson checks back in. Saunders will stay in the game. He was headed toward the sidelines, but he's right back on here. Well, this is one situation, Randall, where the Hawks, they've struggled statistically throughout the year. Last week, they were 3 for 11 on 3rd down conversions. I talked to Brad Birchfield. He said, well, we like to go in 4 downs, not 3. But right here, this area of the field, you want to get it on 3rd down. Johnson takes the ball, and he is to the 30. And he is going to be about a yard short. It's really going to be decision time for the Hawks right here.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be about half yard short, depending on where the official puts his pinky toe.
Now, in the NFL, they're punting this ball away, right? Most college stadiums, they're punting the ball away.
Not Birchfield football.
Right.
And what makes this whole thing difficult is the talent that's on the field now for Hartley. You have so many chess pieces that you have to prepare for.
Don't forget, Underwood is also the punter as well as the quarterback. So just because he's taking the ball doesn't necessarily mean anything here. Now, if you want to draw the defense off sides, the question you have to ask yourself is, are you willing to burn another timeout? And what ends up happening is there's a delay of game against the Hawks. So they don't burn the timeout. They take the penalty, and now almost certainly it'll be a punting situation.
Well, and you had Trey Sanders down here at the bottom, and I think the corner was probably about 12 yards away from him. So that's an easy pitch and catch for, just catch the ball and fall down. It's 1st down.
So Underwood will drop back into punt formation. Jackson Carowin is deep. He's inside his own 40-yard line, and the punt is not good. It is up in the air. It is short, and it is out of bounds inside the 40-yard line. They'll mark it at the 36.
And it seems like there was somebody got a finger on that one. There was a lot of pressure coming at him.
Well, for DeSales, who turned the ball over on downs with their first offensive possession, this is a nice spot to start your second drive offensively.
So now you're in hindsight thinking, that 4th and inches, just fall forward and get the 1st down and keep it moving.
3:51 remaining here in the first quarter. The Hawks with a 7-0 lead, and DeSales with a football in a short field. We'll take a break. This is Bishop.
Hi, this is Bob McElligott for Hutta and Price Orthodontics. Have you ever looked forward to going to any type of a doctor? Well, neither have I, but let me tell you, I do look forward to seeing Doctors Hutta and Price when I go to their practice. You know why? Well, it's as Dr. Hutta says. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And at Hutta and Price Orthodontics, you will know that they care from the very first visit. To find out the services that they provide or to set up a consultation, just go to their website at lovethatsmile.net. If you've ever dreamed of a career in the sports production industry, your dream could come true. The Ohio Media School is enrolling their next sports emphasis class soon. You'll learn about all the different aspects of what goes into the broadcast that you watch or listen to. Go from behind the scenes to the front of the camera. You'll also get hands-on opportunities to practice your skills through the Score On Air network. Call the
DeSales set to go offensively. First down and 10. They are at the Bishop Hartley 36-yard line. Put a bunch of guys in the backfield this time. Fake the handoff. Hobgood wants to throw, and he does, and he's going to the end zone. And this ball is going to be incomplete, and 2 flags come in on the play. Trey Saunders was in coverage. He never turned around to look for the ball, and he made contact with the receiver.
Yeah, and he got lost in space, and he was in good position. I just think at the very end he panicked by throwing up his hands, and then the receiver slowed down, so that created a little bit of a collision out there.
Pass interference. Defense, number 9. 15-yard penalty. First down.
So another 15-yard penalty given up by the Hawks. They have 2 penalties in this game for a total of 30 yards. And we'll see this again.
Yeah, and that's right there where the contact was, where the receiver slowed down.
It's one of those where, and let's see it from a different angle here. Boy, if you slow down and turn around, maybe you have a chance to pick that ball off.
Yeah, he just lost the ball. The ball basically hit him in the back.
First down and 10. They put the ball at the 21-yard line. Hobgood this time of the handoff. Caruso trying to dance his way up the middle, and he is caught, and he is going to be brought down. The first man to get a body on him was Isaac Asedu. He's a junior defensive lineman.
And the big man did a good job engaging with the offensive line, getting off the block, and then ripping right through to make that tackle. And I tell you what, this Hartley defense really looks a little bit more aggressive. The corners are pressing a little bit more. They're not sitting back as much. And that's really freeing up the linebackers.
Going to hand it off on the delay to Caruso, and he is up the middle. He's got the first down as he is inside the 10 and at the 7.
And that's a great adjustment by DeSales, because they're getting a lot of pressure upfield from the defensive line. So they're running misdirections right past the pressure and right in the hole. And you have to make that tackle right there as you're trying to hold on with the arm tackle.
It's a great block on Sherrod Bowens right there at the beginning of that run on the misdirection. That's what took him out of the play, and Caruso went right by. First down and goal from the 7-yard line. Hobgood with the ball, and he looks. Now he's going to run up the middle. He finds a lane, and he's into the end zone for the touchdown.
So that was an RPO. Usually it's a run-pass option. That was a run-pitch option. So he gets the ball. Am I going to pitch it? Nope. I froze the linebacker, and I got the gap.
You know, that's the thing about Hobgood. You look at some of the quarterbacks that the Hawks have gone up against this year, and you look at them, and you look at their athletic build, and you go, yeah, that quarterback can run the football. That's obvious. This guy can run the football. He's a big guy. He can throw, but he can run.
Oh, yeah. From up top here, he doesn't look that big, but when you see him down the field, you're like, okay, that's a dude.
Extra point attempt, and that's a high snap. And Niall Johnson going to try to keep them out of the end zone, and that is a big play. You talked about this when Hartley scored. All the little things like the extra points. Hartley got theirs, DeSales does not, and it's a 7-6 lead.
Yeah, extra points like this really count. I know it's a different game, different time, but in 1991, 30 years to the date, we played Newark Catholic with Rob Kelly and J.D. Graham, the legendary coach Dick Geyer squaring off with those guys, and they missed their extra point. And we go down and score. We hit our extra point. We win the game 7-6. And nobody's ever beaten Newark Catholic. And that's the thing about Hartley. Hartley's called a program breaker. So people come to Hartley and they
Okay, so at that point, should I be shooting stuff or just keep doing what I'm doing? Okay.
Kenny and Saunders, deep 53. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Peyton Underwood's pass to Trey Saunders. Niall Johnson goes for 2. Peyton Underwood's punt, give DeSales the ball. 1st and 10 from their 48. DeSales 6. Excitement surrounding the 2021
Tonight's game is being brought to you by Score on Air and the Ohio Media School,
right now by using the
Dr. Hartley and Price Orthodontics, the Lance and Eileen Porter Foundation, Quick League Apparel, Ohio Athletic Performance, and Green Lawn RV.
Can you see yourself working on TV, radio, or social media? As media professionals, we make our voice heard. Call the Ohio Media School and be a part of something bigger than you and me. You'll train and get the skills you need to work with TV, radio, social media, film, and much more.
I graduated and now am working as a director of marketing at a local radio station. My future is set.
Call the Ohio Media School now and be a part of something bigger. 614-723-9675. 614-723-9675.
Everyone's going to be zoomed in.
Hello, Hawks. My name is Lauren Whitlatch, and this is our Director of Admissions, Mrs. Rush. What would you like to tell us about any upcoming admission events?
DeSales has the ball.
And I tell you, this is like a 12-round heavyweight championship fight, and you're at the end of the third round, and both fighters go back to their corners, and they're getting juiced up with some water, and now they're loosened up, they're ready to go. So let's see what happens. And DeSales has really been motioning to that trip, so let's see if they go with that RPO, that run pitch option, because they have a really good athletic quarterback, and they're trying to use his feet. And Hartley's maintaining their rush lane, so they're containing him really well. But something eventually is going to break here.
3rd down and 9. See if this Hawks defense can hold instead of break.
When those corners are pressed up, so that's also a different look for Hartley's defense. Over the last couple of weeks, you can see the corners starting to inch up and inch up and inch up. That means we have confidence in our corners. You have confidence in those corners out there who have experience.
Richard Kenny, Aiden Turner, those corners that you're talking about. And as you said, they're right up there on the line. A little bump and run right off the snap here for those guys, perhaps.
And I'm interested to see this matchup down here in the slot.
Here's a handoff coming around the near side, chasing and making the tackle is Deshaun Tucker. That is a great job of pursuit as he was able to run down Kyle nicely.
And that's the blessing of having a linebacker that has speed. When you can get out in that open field and get that speedster that's trying to get that corner. Typical linebacker doesn't have that kind of speed.
Take another look at it, and there is that closing speed right there.
And, you know, that just reminds me, it looks like the Serengeti in Africa. The lion is right on that gazelle's back and puts the claw on him and drags him down.
Punting now are the Stallions. Nice backspin on that kick, and Saunders will let it go as it bounces at the 10-yard line, and that's where it will sit.
Woo. I'm glad Saunders clipped his toenails today. That was a close one.
It was close, but he stayed away from it. He made the right decision.
When you get these two teams, so 3-2 is the record, 2-3, throw the records out the window. Nobody cares about that when you have rich tradition like this. And both teams know, it's like the old saying, on the Serengeti plain of Africa, every morning the lion wakes up and says, I have to be faster than the slowest gazelle. And every gazelle says, I have to be faster than the slowest lion. So somebody's going to get caught today.
Kenny shifts into the backfield. Underwood hands it off to Richard Kenny. Coming to the near side. Puts the brakes on, maintains his balance, and that's a nice little run there. And then he got dumped late. Boy, that could have been a flag if they wanted to throw one, but they don't.
That flag was itching in their pocket, ready to jump out, and they just said, I will let him play.
Gain of 9. Pretty good job to put the brakes on by Richard, maintain his balance, and then make sure he got the 9.
Oh, he went from 65 to 5 miles an hour and then kicked it back down in 4th gear to 65 again.
Old to be young again, right?
Oh, just watching that makes my hamstrings hurt.
Richard split out to the right side this time. Part of a 4-receiver set for the Hawks is Underwood. Pistol formation, takes the ball, hands it off. Niall Johnson up the middle, he goes, and actually a nice tackle right in the middle of the field by DeSales. Jonathan Moss, linebacker, stayed right with him and made the shoestring tackle.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Donovan Davis cleared that out, created a big gap, drove his guy about 5 yards out, and that just creates space for you as a running back.
First down for the Hawks. We talked about the fact their last 2 offensive possessions were struggles just to get first downs. Here's a little throw to Deontay Hubbard, and he tried to run with the football before he had the football. And what are they considering this a lateral? DeSales thinks they have a touchdown. Now the official on the near sideline, I believe, is coming over to dispute that.
And there's still not a whistle. Nobody's blowing the whistle yet. All the players are on the field, officials are on the field. It's mayhem. Nobody knows what's going on. Both bands are playing. Fans are yelling. And clearly the ball was in front of him.
So they are ruling that a backwards pass and a lateral, a fumble, and a touchdown. Huh. I don't see how that's a backwards pass.
Well, it hits him on his left hand, which is in front. So if it's hitting him on his left hand, that means the ball's in front of him.
Well, again, it's been ruled a touchdown, and DeSales is going to go for 2 here to try to get it up to 14. Hobgood takes a snap, looks to pitch. Now he throws to the end zone, and he's got his man there for a touchdown. And how things change ever so quickly. The big tight end coming off the line, and Braden Ginn makes the catch. And it's a 14-7 DeSales lead.
Yeah, and DeSales isn't outplaying Hartley. Hartley is just outplaying themselves. And I think that's what it's coming down to, whether you got turnovers, penalties, and DeSales, give credit to them. They're taking advantage of it. That's what tradition does. Tradition knows how to take advantage of situations because they've been in it.
And you're right, you talk about the penalties. 35 yards worth of penalties have been handed to DeSales. A personal foul, a pass interference. That makes up for 30 of those yards.
Well, you get 35 on the penalties. You get the 6 on the scoop and score. And then you don't flip the field on the one punt where you have so much pressure that the kicker just had to get it, the punter had to get it out, so you don't flip the field, so you're giving up another 40 yards there as well. So all these little things add up. But I think once they settle down and get into the rhythm again, they'll be back on track.
Well, it's time for them to respond right now. We'll see how they respond. This is one of those, there are key moments in games where you want to see what your team is going to do. I would think this is one of those moments.
Absolutely, and it also shows you the character of your team, right?
Yes.
So is DeSales going to take advantage of this momentum and keep riding it out, or is Hartley going to come back with a couple uppercuts?
Bangert, again, another short kick. This will be taken at the 31. Alex Ramacone takes an immediate hit, spins down at the 36-yard line.
I'll tell you, being an up back, catching those kickoffs that are short, these guys aren't panicking at all. They're like, hey, we're used to it. Let's go.
Just happy to get the ball, right?
Absolutely.
Never know when you can make something happen. This is not bad field position at the 36. Yeah, that's one thing that is for certain. Actually, they'll put it at the 37, but they don't want to give it to Richard Kenny. They don't want to give it to Trey Saunders. It seems as though they don't feel that their kicker's going to get it into the end zone, so they're quick to give it to the up man.
Well, that's what DeSales has done. They're neutralizing the speed.
There's a handoff to Johnson. Niall trying to string it out, looking for a block. He gets one, and he ends up getting some decent yardage on that first down. He's going to get 6, maybe 7.
The blocking on the perimeter by these wide receivers is absolutely amazing. You know, these guys are out there looking like Garrett Wilson and Chris Olave blocking.
Stopped by Seamus.
Going to give him 6. It'll be a 2nd down and 4.
And I think that's DeSales' game plan. How can we neutralize the speed of Hartley? And I think this is a place right here, 2nd and 4. You send your receivers deep and take the top off that defense, because I don't think they have enough speed to run with us, and we're falling into the trap of being neutralized.
Bit of a tighter formation as Underwood goes up under center, turns, hands it off. Niall Johnson takes a hit, tries to shake that one off, and he's still only going to get to the line of scrimmage.
And this is the game that DeSales wants right here. They want to keep it in between the tackles, neutralize the speed. When you have some burners on the outside, get them in the stretch, get them those little bubble passes, let them get 4 or 5 yards, shake a leg out there, and they have enough to get that corner.
Saunders was out wide. He now tightens up in the formation. Underwood takes it, little pitch to Johnson. And he makes a cut and he accelerates, and he is going to be to the 48-yard line. Should have himself the first down, and he does.
And that's the thing that DeSales fears, is that speed on the outside, getting that perimeter.
For another Hartley.
You'll see the read that he makes right here.
And he's very patient. You can see he's already looking downfield. He's looking at the safety. Most inexperienced running backs would look at the guy in front of him. He's looking at the safety, making his next move downfield already.
First down for the Hawks. Underwood to pass. And he does. Down the middle. And he has his man, Trey Saunders. Touchdown! 52 yards in the air for the Hartley Hawks. And they're an extra point away from tying the game.
And Bob, that's what we call taking the top off. You have to be able to stretch this defense. This is what they fear the most. They do not have the skill on the outside or the back end to keep up with this level of speed. And the quarterback has a beautiful ball. He just throws it up there and drops it down the chimney, lets his wide receiver run under it, and at about the last 6 yards, he's just kind of strolling in. That's a beautiful pass. And that defensive back didn't have a chance.
No, he didn't. Alex Gabriel puts the kick through. And so it is a 14-14 game. Beautifully thrown football by Peyton Underwood. All about timing on that play, and you got to drop it in, as you just said. And Rashay Smith was a man in coverage. There's no way that he could have covered any better.
No, and then that kid gave the best that he has with the speed that he has. But Trey has just a different gear. And that's where Hartley has to continue to attack and attack and attack and make you stop and make them double team you, and that'll open up that running game.
Take another look at it here, the confidence in the junior quarterback, and you saw Smith at the last second lunging for that ball, reaching out with the right hand, just couldn't get it.
And this is what a great running game does. Everybody drifted the linebackers, 2 linebackers drifted towards 21, and that opens up that middle, so you're one-on-one on that corner.
Well, we just talked about moments in the game. Do you respond? How do you respond? That's a big response right there.
That's a huge response.
Gabriel launches this one toward the end zone and through.
And like I said, 7-6 is not going to stay in this kind of game.
No, not at all. Blink your eye and that's gone. It's 14-14 with 8 minutes and 15 seconds remaining in the first half.
And the level of composure that you have to have as a quarterback. So, you know, whether they want to call that a backwards pass, a lateral or not, you can easily lose your composure as a quarterback. And this kid steps right back up and launches a rocket for 52 yards. So that's impressive in its own right.
Yeah, I want to take that a step further right after this play, because I was thinking something watching the personnel on the field at the time, and I think it made a big difference. But first, here comes the first down play, and there is movement. Or is it a timeout? No, it's a timeout called by the Hawks. But after that fumble, and they conferred, and then they said that that is a touchdown. There are a couple of things that can happen there. And as a coach, and Brad Birchfield was going on the field, and I was watching him, I'll be honest with you, if it was me, I'd have probably been livid. I would have been in somebody's ear about that, but he didn't. He got his team, and he got him back to the sideline. That's not an easy thing to do, because you're mad. It's the heat of the moment. But I think that composure keeps your team composed. If you're going to start crying about that play or making noise about that play, all your team's going to think about is that play in particular They weren't thinking. They went out, they made another play.
Yeah, as a coach, you have a script of plays and reactions that you typically have that you know you can get away with the officials. And there's other things that you know you can't do because you'll lose your team. That was one of those things that you cannot do. You don't want to lose your team right there at the beginning of the second quarter when you have momentum and you know it's a long game and a lot of scoring's left, a lot of plays are left. So we'll see how DeSales comes out and responds. And what I'm seeing right now from that just timeout there, Hartley is so juiced up and their athletes are so ready at the front four, ready to go. DeSales is coming back with a lot of misdirection again, trying to slow down that Hartley pressure.
So here go the Stallions, 1st and 10. And they fake the handoff. And Hopgood tries to go up the middle, but Dylan Newsom saw that. Little spy on the quarterback, and he brings him down after a short gain.
Well, and Hartley's defense made an adjustment, so they started moving around too. So Hartley's defense is saying, we're not going to stand static. We're going to move around a little bit, so it makes it a little bit more difficult for the Stallions' front line to block, and that allows your guys just to slash in. So this is where DeSales usually gets about 5 or 6 yards for this game. So let's see if Hartley can get him behind the chains.
They hand it off to Caruso, tries the right side, and he's got room on the right side. He's all the way through to the 40 and up to the 48-yard line before he was caught by Trey Saunders. But there is a flag back at the 22-yard line.
Run, stop by Trey Saunders.
We've talked about the Hartley penalties in this game, and this is the first big penalty for St. Francis DeSales. A holding call, and this big run turns out to be a bunch of nothing.
Well, and it was Daniel Toussaint doing his job. So his job is, once he sees that guard pulling around, his job is to jab that inside shoulder. You attack that inside shoulder, don't get kicked out. And when he attacks that inside shoulder and that offensive lineman, it creates a natural hook. And that offensive lineman goes along for the ride, and it becomes a hold. So that's what you call flipping the field. That's 60 yards in field position that DeSales just gave up.
2nd down and 18. Hopgood pulls it down. Newsom trips him up at the 16-yard line.
And that right there is probably one of the hardest plays to defend in all of football. When the quarterback comes at you and you're in the hole and it's open space and it's just you and the quarterback, believe me, I've made many tackles that way, but I've also missed many tackles that way too. That is a difficult play. The guy settled. He didn't panic. Defensive back or the linebacker just stood there, chopped his feet, and went after him.
3 receivers right, 2 left for DeSales. They've got a 3rd down. Hopgood fakes a throw. Now he is caught, and he is brought down in the backfield.
And I tell you, that's baby Ed Oliver in there with those fast twitch muscles, and that is pure power. This time he doesn't use speed. It's pure power coming off this edge. He works his guy with the right jab, comes underneath with the boogie wop, and boom, hits him. And that's the old Reggie White boogie wop. You work up hard, come underneath with the left hand, and throw him with the right, and boom, you're on the quarterback, and he splits those 2 guys for the sack.
Huge sack, and the ball is back at the 11-yard line, and DeSales will have to punt from their own goal line, which they do. A high spiraling kick. Trey Saunders lets it go, and it'll bounce into Hartley territory, and it's got a DeSales bounce, rolling down to the 31-yard line.
And that's about where the guy got tackled for DeSales before the penalty. So it's good stand by Hartley there. And if you notice, I said that's the old Reggie White boogie wop. I could have just called it the Randall Sampson boogie wop, but we got to give homage to the Hall of Famer.
He did.
And he's a much bigger dude.
14-14 game.
Heck, I think Daniel Toussaint's as big as both of us standing side by side.
Yeah, I think you're right. And Daniel Toussaint comes up with a huge play for the Hawks. The big sack that forces the punt. And Hartley going back on offense. Tied at 14, 5:47 left here in the first half. This is Hartley Hawks football.
Hi, this is Bob McElligott for Hutta and Price Orthodontics. Have you ever looked forward to going to any type of a doctor? Well, neither have I. But let me tell you, I do look forward to seeing Doctors Hutta and Price when I go to their practice. You know why? Well, it's as Dr. Hutta says. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And at Hutta and Price Orthodontics, you will know that they care from the very first visit. To find out the services that they provide or to set up a consultation, just go to their website at lovethatsmile.net. If you've ever dreamed of a career in the sports production industry, your dream could come true. The Ohio Media School is enrolling their next sports emphasis class soon. You'll learn about all the different aspects of what goes into the broadcast that you watch or listen to. Go from behind the scenes to the front of the camera. You'll also get hands-on opportunities to practice your skills through the Score On Air network. Call the Ohio Media School at 614-655-5250 or visit beonair.com/Columbus.
14-14 game. Hawks back on offense. And the handoff. Niall Johnson, he breaks a tackle. He's up over the 40-yard line and out to the 44. I love watching this guy run.
Yeah, and this right here, this was just all strategy by the offense coordinator. You create a lot of window dressing, you put all that speed on the outside. Now you have those defensive backs back on their feet. Linebackers are backing out. And then you hand it off to your burner right in the middle. But the problem with him is he's a battering ram, too. He has speed. But if you get in his way, look out, buddy. You're just going to be another speed bump.
Low snap. Underwood handles it, throws it over the middle. Too hot to handle for Trey Saunders that time.
You got to love that play setup. It's keep the linebackers honest. That's what that does. Because the linebackers are flying up. And especially once you have a good running game and that play action. But once you connect, that guy's running. He's still running. He's into the locker room by now.
And that's one you might come back to later. Again, it was a low snap. So right from the beginning, the play was a challenge.
Absolutely.
Second down and 10.
And DeSales stays in their base defense. They're not going to do anything fancy. They just want to contain you.
Fake the handoff. Now they set up a little screen, but Johnson is not going to have anywhere to go. The defense read that perfectly, and they came up and they just stick him for the loss on the play.
Well, as a quarterback, that's the jitters that you have from the last time when you went out. So as a quarterback, you have those jitters. So you want to throw the ball a little bit high because you're scared of throwing it too low to where it might be considered a fumble.
Omarion Conte coming up and making that tackle. And it is third down and 11. Got Anthony Murphy wide out to the right side. Trey Saunders in the slot there. Underwood hands it off. Little counter play. Johnson up the middle, but he won't get the first down. They caught him at the 45, and he falls down at the 47. Now, interesting situation here for the Hawks.
And that's just spreading out the field, getting man on man, hat on hat, and trying to jump in that hole. So your last couple punts have been an average of maybe 20 yards. So do you flip the field for 20 yards, or do you try to go for it and play on a short field? I think that's what the challenge is.
No, they just wait this out, take this time out, take the 5 yards. What are they going to do here? They're going to take the timeout, Hartley's final timeout of the first half.
So you're the coach. Are you going for it, or are you going to punt the ball, give yourself some room to play again? If they happen to drive the ball before halftime, you got 3:40 left.
Initially, I was going to say go for it. I don't know, the last couple of defensive stands. Look, you're coming off a defensive stand where you actually sent them backwards. They got a penalty, put themselves back. Then all of a sudden you got a huge sack. They're coming off a series where they didn't do the things that they'd been doing tonight. And maybe you use that confidence and try to turn it into give your offense a little confidence here to try to pick it up. What do you say?
That's a long 6. And 4th and 6, it looks like 4th and 60.
Yeah.
So that's a long 6, but if you go for it, this is where you get your athletes in space. Create a lot of misdirection and crisscross, so that way you can get some rub routes. Don't just dump it off into the flats. So get some rub routes or get some crossing routes because their DBs cannot keep up.
All right, whose suggestion are they going to go with right here? Do they go with me and go for it on 4th down, or you, and that's a long 6 4th down? Well, you didn't say you'd punt it. You just said it was a long 6. Richard Kenny comes in motion, and now they're going to have to punt it. And that's got to drive you crazy because you take the timeout, you set up the play, and then you false start, and now you have to punt anyway, and you blew your last time out in the process.
And so all these things add up. So that's a 5-yard penalty. In the course of the game, it's not that much, but now we're at 40 yards worth of penalties. But that's a 5-yard penalty, but it's also causing you from getting the opportunity to go score again. So the goal right here is you got to get a booming punt off. Let's see in the middle where they've been getting a lot of pressure, if they continue with that pressure, if they made the adjustments on Hartley's side or not.
Won't take long to find out. Well, there was pressure again. Underwood gets it away. It'll take a Hartley bounce inside the 20, inside the 15, and down to about the 12.
Like I said, that's a long 6.
It was longer when it was 11.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. So they really have to get that under control as far as that rush that's coming at that punter. And when I looked over here on the sideline, the punter was talking to the coach and throwing his hands up, not knowing what to do. So he must see something there where they're trying to really get that punt off as quickly as possible.
Well, he made that adjustment, and again, he got the good roll. So now they'll let the defense go out there and go to work.
And the good thing about that punt formation is that pressure's coming from the right, so look for the fake punt to the left.
Hobgood with the handoff. And that defense is right there to make the play. Anthony Murphy and Dylan Newsom in on the tackle of Gabe Caruso.
Now you notice when DeSales go straight handoff, they cannot move the ball against Hartley. So they have to a whole bunch of misdirection in order to move the ball, put a bunch of window dressing in, but Hartley has to be disciplined not to fall for it.
Get a whistle here, and I have to send one of the DeSales players off the field.
Must be equipment check.
Yep.
No, the guy's on the sideline. He's not even checking his equipment.
So they have to bring another player in. Jackson Gantz checks in, and now he's a little confused looking to the sideline, but they have time on the play clock.
Must be nice for the officials just to sub up your own players.
I'm good. With a handoff, he ran into his own man, and there was no chance of making anything happen there. Gabe Caruso, he and Hobgood collided with one another, and then there were just two blue shirts on him.
Yeah, as they're trying to get some of this misdirection to get some confusion with Hartley, create some window dressing, they ran into each other, and that's dangerous in itself because you can fumble the ball there on the 10-yard line.
Yeah, take that back. It was Rashay Smith that he collided with. It wasn't a quarterback. Quarterback actually got himself out of the way.
Well, it looks like there's some confusion with the Hartley defense. They're playing a single high, meaning they're pressing everybody in the middle, and you got a guy playing free safety. Everybody else is zoned underneath.
Hobgood tries to near sideline. Smith, that's out of his reach. Incomplete pass. Alex Ramacone on the coverage, and it'll be 4th down, and DeSales will have to punt it away.
Yeah, they're in a single high defense, so the quarterback sees that, and so now his goal is just to get to the sideline and loft one over before the safety gets over there. And I'll tell you, this quarterback's pretty good because he looked to his left to look off that safety on the snap of the ball.
Punt taken by Saunders, and he immediately goes down to a knee. They'll place that one at about the 47-yard line. 1st down and 10 for the Hawks. They've got a minute and 51 seconds on the clock. No timeouts left here in the first half, but an opportunity to take the lead before the end of the half.
Yeah, I tell you, Saunders must have watched a little bit of Top Gun before this game because he likes to live in the danger zone. Man.
We've seen him fumble a punt this year that way. It just seems like sometimes he's guessing, hesitating. And he was like that again, but this time he holds on to it. He's sure-handed on it, and his team has the football. And Underwood is rolling, and he is throwing, and he's got Saunders for the 1st down as he gets out of bounds inside the 30-yard line.
So that play is there all day long. You can take it whenever you want it. 14 yards guaranteed, just out in space. That's all it is. Your athlete out in space, and he's faster than the other guy. It can get by him and then just step out of bounds.
Marion Conte couldn't make that tackle, as you said. Trey just a little bit faster than him. Underwood wants to throw again, rolling near sideline, throw across the body, and that's incomplete. That is a tough throw for a quarterback to make, rolling to his left and throwing to his left, and he just couldn't connect.
Yeah, and he put the ball where only his receiver can catch it or nobody catches it. So that shows a little bit of poise on his end. And watching this kid grow up in front of us, this is awesome. This kid has some great skills, and I just want to see this develop over time.
2nd down and 10. They've only burned 8 seconds off that clock so far.
So the temptation is for Hartley not to get too cute with this, right? So get the ball out in space quickly and let your people run with the ball.
Underwood to the far sideline, little underneath and a curl, and there goes Richard Kenny up the field, breaks a tackle, touchdown! Well, that was kind of cute.
And that was kind of cute. So what happens is you get out in space, let your guys run with the ball, get them a quick pitch out there, let them get a pitch and catch, let them get the ball and go. But the thing with Richard Kenny is this. He sees those linebackers coming, so he gets a quick release. He sees those linebackers, and he's like, I'm the Gazelle. I got to go. So he turns on the Jets. The Gazelle gets gone, and he gets to the end zone, takes it to the house.
Gabriel with the extra point attempt. And he puts it right through. 21-14. Now, how about this? They got the ball with 1 minute and 51 seconds left in the half, and they scored 16 seconds later.
And that's the set of plays that you'll go into the film room. You put that in your back pocket. When you push off into the playoffs and you get down to the crunch at the end of the game and you need time to run 20 seconds worth of plays to get to the end zone, that's the exact same set of plays that you bring out and you rep them every day of practice, and you bring them out when you need them. So I think that's a really good set that they have, and they have the reps now on tape to keep working on it.
And no running the football on that drive.
No.
They gave it to their quarterback to get the job done. He threw one incomplete pass, everything else connected. It's a touchdown.
And they're taking advantage of their strengths versus this team, right? Because their identity is to run the ball, to pound it at you. But DeSales is saying, hey, beat us in the air. We'll give that up all day long. And Hartley has said, okay, thank you, we will.
Gabriel again, another good kick through the end zone. No, I asked Brad Birchfield this week. I said, look, I looked at your numbers. You had, 298 yards rushing last week, but you had like 147 yards passing. Are you becoming more balanced as a team? And, well, look at that drive. I don't think it's balanced, but what I think it is more confidence in the quarterback. You mentioned Peyton Underwood has just continued to mature here, and as he matures, they're giving him more responsibility.
Absolutely. So, it's like Brad Birchfield eating dinner. When you look at his plate and he said, is that a balanced meal, Brad? He says, yeah, it's steak and potatoes. It's not more balanced than that.
Well, now let's see if the defense can do the job here in the minute 35. DeSales has all 3 of their timeouts, and they hand the ball off. And they're going to get it out to, this is going to be a big game. This is going to be about 8 yards on this first down.
I'll tell you, that was all around good football on both sides of the ball. If you are a person looking at that edge, you get Daniel Toussaint closing that edge down, but then the running back just bounces out and continues to churn his legs, and he's carrying 4 people with him. That is good football.
That's Liam Harmon, who was running the ball. He's a junior. He's only 5'10", but just kept those feet moving. And they give it to him again, and this time Deshaun Tucker's there, and right behind him is Newsom for the tackle.
And that's the thing DeSales cannot do. DeSales cannot just line up, hand the ball off, and run against this Hartley defense. They have to create some window dressing, create distractions, or else those linebackers are going to run downhill like that and rip somebody's head off all day long. And the key with that is every defensive lineman on that play maintained their block. So they made extension, they created punch, and once the running back just sees butts and can't figure out a way to cut, the linebacker's scrape.
Hobgood wants to throw, and he will. And he misses, incomplete. I'm not even sure who that ball was intended for, to be honest with you. He had one receiver streaking down the field. He had Jackson Gantz. I'm guessing that's who he thought was going to cut to the sideline and take the underneath pass, but it's not near anybody.
Well, the hard part with that is you're getting a chip block off the edge over at Daniel over here on the bottom, but that's leaving your right defensive end and defense tackle man-on-man, one-on-one over there, and they're whipping them all day long, creating a lot of pressure.
31 seconds left. Second down play. Hobgood fakes the handoff and he runs, and he's got some room, and he will get to the sticks, and he will do better than that. He'll get out of bounds. It's good veteran play right there by the quarterback. Knows where he has to get to, and as soon as he saw it open up, he took advantage.
And this is what DeSales does. They say, hey, we're going to let our dude carry us. We've tried everything else. Now we're just going to put it on his back and let him carry us to a first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock, and live the fight another day.
26 seconds, but again, they have all three of their timeouts. They can do a lot here.
Well, that's the thing that Hartley has done is they get him in second and third and long and let him off the hook. So they got a fresh set. Let's see if they can get him behind the chains.
4 receivers set. Hobgood dropping back. He's got time. Pumps, and now he throws underneath, and he's got his man across the 50, inside the 40, where he steps out of bounds. So again, another pass underneath. Isaac Pekarchik making the catch and run.
And that's a lot of football right there. That receiver came all the way from the other side of the field. So he came 48 yards running across the field, catches it, and gets upfield for another 20. And you got a guy trailing the whole time trying to keep up.
So they're inside the 40 at the 39. Remember, DeSales gets the ball to start the second half. Hobgood again, near side, wide open, and making the catch is Harmon.
And that's what Hartley wants to do. They want to give you those little dunk-offs, keep the person in front of you, let him waste some time. If he jumps out of bounds, that's fine. It's only a gain of 3 yards, but don't let anybody behind you. And for those folks out there who are watching this game, if you want to see some big-time technique, watch Daniel Toussaint down here at the bottom. The last play, he did a really great job with the technique of dipping the shoulder. You don't see that at the high school level. Dipping the shoulder on the pass rush and trying to get that hook underneath. And now he's setting up his guy for the inside move. So let's see if he gets that inside move.
Hobgood will roll away from him, and he will throw. And he's got the first down. And breaking a tackle and going up the sidelines. DeSales getting deep into Hartley territory now. And that's all the way down to the 15.
That's the thing we just talked about, right? Keep the guy in front of you. Let him get the short pass. Keep him in front of you. Let him get out of bounds. That's fine. You can't let somebody get behind you.
So the question is here, how many points do you want to get? Now you've got 7 seconds left. You have time to run a play. They hope they have time to run a play. If they don't get into the end zone, call a timeout and at least get 3 so that they can have that going into the half where they get the ball on the other side.
You have to take points in this kind of game. You have to take points.
First down at 10. Again, it's from the 15-yard line. Hobgood, long snap count this time, and he wants to throw, and he does throw, and he's got a man in the end zone, and Trey Saunders goes up and takes it away. Take that back. Aiden Turner was that guy that was in coverage.
Hey, look, Aiden Turner said, hey, we're having a barbecue in the backyard on Zettler. Let me get some of that. He goes up and he snags that thing like it was a hot dog in the air and said, give it to me.
Interception in the end zone.
Aiden Turner playing the corner position over there on the far side of the field. He just gets right underneath this thing, plays it to perfection.
With 3 seconds left in the half, Hawks will take it first and 10 from the 20.
And this is what we talked about the last couple games. These defensive backs don't panic. They have a lot of really great technique. They know how to play the ball. They eye it, get it at its highest point, keep the receiver close on their hip. You only coach stuff like that.
Hartley kneels on the ball to run out the rest of the time. And Randall, to go back to that play, too. Listen, if he turns around and he bats that ball down, it's a good play. They have a chance to get 3 points. He just turns around and takes it away. And now who has the momentum going into the locker room?
That's right. So that is a flip of some points right there. So now you just save 7 points on that end. You come back out, you have momentum, and you can finally just put this thing to rest. And second half is what we tell our players all the time. Come on, guys, let's go out there. And this is when we have to put the women and children to bed. Let the men go out there and do what you do. Shut the door on them, and let's take this victory and go back into the locker room after the game and celebrate. So we have to see if they can do that coming out.
And you talk about having that momentum and coming back with the momentum. It will be that defense that'll go right back out there and feeling good about itself.
Absolutely. So that gave their defense a lot of confidence. But what happened on that is 3 plays back. If people just watch it, it's 3 plays back. So in those 3 plays back, when I was talking about Daniel Toussaint dipping and ripping and beating that off and sack and creating that pressure, then they went and attacked the left-hand side on that pass where he got it pretty close. The guy got behind him. So the quarterback has to go left because he know that pressure's coming right. They can't go right. And once again, on that interception, they had to go left because that pressure with Daniels right there. They gave up the entire half of the field because of one player, and it cost them an interception. So it's all those little intricate things that you need to know about.
And that's a great point. And if you're Aiden Turner, you know they're coming that way now, right? You just saw that. The guy gets behind you. Now you know they're coming at you. You know they want to get into the end zone. So already having their game plan in your head helps you out.
Yep. So you live the fight another day, and you got that goldfish memory. 5 seconds, you forget all about what happened and keep going.
Well, it's a great way to end the half for the Hartley Hawks. Their offense has come to play here tonight, and they have a 21-14 lead at the half. Always great when these two teams get together. It doesn't matter on what side of town it is, but heck, the Hawks like it when it's on this side of town. And the atmosphere in here is electric tonight. It's fun, and it's only halfway done. 21-14. The Hawks have the lead, and Richard Kenny makes one of the big plays here in that first half, getting a touchdown. One of a couple touchdown passes by Peyton Underwood, and the Hawks up by 7. 21-14. It's halftime. This is Hartley Hawks football.
Here at Ohio Athletic Performance, we have truly aligned our passions with our path and our purpose for why we are here. The vision for our company is to be able to influence and impact other people so they have the ability to reach the heights of their genetic potential, whatever that is. We train a wide demographic of individuals, all the way from young athletes to full-grown adults. We choose the things that we program very intentionally. And beyond the physical preparation that we offer people, for us it really is about the development of the holistic person, to be able to identify the things that they need, maybe unbeknownst to themselves, and then being able to bridge the gap for whatever it is that they want in their life, or what they aspire to have, or where they say that they want to go. So for us, we have aligned our passions with our purpose, and we know that we're on the proper path. And now what we're trying to do is facilitate that opportunity for everybody else to do the same.
We take physical preparation incredibly serious here at Ohio Athletic Performance. It's something that we pride ourselves on, whether it be athletes or adult clients. It's something that we want to make sure we're providing to the best of our ability. We want to make sure it's orthopedically safe. If they need rehabilitation, that's something that we can provide for them. And as Coach Trapp said, we're always intentional with everything we do, and we want to take the right steps to give that person exactly what they need.
From the adult perspective, the 3 things we see: a sense of community, improved health, and a great outlet.
We are intensely passionate about what it is that we do and the service that we offer, and we would love for you to come join our community.
Hi, this is Bob McElligott for Hutta and Price Orthodontics. Have you ever looked forward to going to any type of a doctor? Well, neither have I, but let me tell you, I do look forward to seeing Doctors Hutta and Price when I go to their practice. You know why? Well, it's as Dr. Hutta says. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And at Hutta and Price Orthodontics, you will know that they care from the very first visit. To find out the services that they provide or to set up a consultation, just go to their website at lovethatsmile.net. If you've ever dreamed of a career in the sports production industry, your dream could come true. The Ohio Media School is enrolling their next sports emphasis class soon. You'll learn about all the different aspects of what goes into the broadcast that you watch or listen to. Go from behind the scenes to the front of the camera. You'll also get hands-on opportunities to practice your skills through the Score On Air network. Call the Ohio Media School at 614-655-5250 or visit beonair.com/Columbus. Tonight's game is being brought to you by Score On Air and the Ohio Media School, Dr. Hutta and Price Orthodontics, the Lance and Eileen Porter Foundation, Brick Leg Apparel, Ohio Athletic Performance, and Green Lawn RV.
Can you see yourself working on TV, radio, or social media? As media professionals, we make our voice heard. Call the Ohio Media School and be a part of something bigger than you and me. You'll train and get the skills you need to work in TV, radio, social media, film, and much more.
I graduated and now am working as a director of marketing at a local radio station. My future is set.
Call the Ohio Media School now and be a part of something bigger. 614-723-9675. 614-723-9675.
Hello, Hawks. My name is Lauren Whitlatch, and this is our Director of Admissions, Mrs. Rush. What would you like to tell us about any upcoming admission events?
The first thing I'd like to say is that I ask all of you to save the date for November 4th. It's a Thursday evening, and that will be our open house. So we invite middle school students who are interested in Bishop Hartley, as well as their families, to come to our open house event. That evening you'll hear from our principal. You'll get to take a campus tour, learn about our house system, our amazing academics, see our beautiful campus facilities, and all kinds of extracurriculars that we offer our students. So mark your calendar for November 4th, our open house.
How do we sign up and apply for these events?
So our admissions website, if you go to bishop-hartley.org, there's an admissions tab, and you can register for our upcoming events, and then our application will actually go live on that webpage on October 12th. So starting October 12th, once you fall in love with Hartley, if you're not already, then you can apply from our website. And the nice thing is, once you submit that application online, you'll get an email that gives you an individualized application checklist. And that's where you register for an admission test, upload your report cards, and things like that. So we absolutely help you every step along the way.
Is there any information you want to tell prospective students and their families?
Gosh, I would just encourage our prospective students to come and visit our school. Whether you come to open house or a shadow day, take a campus tour, Hartley is truly family. And although I wish I could bottle it up and put it in a marketing brochure, it's something you have to experience firsthand. And so, you know, we are who we say we are. We're a community, and we are built on faith, and our kids are brilliant and kind. And we want you to come on our campus and visit and experience that yourself. So I guess my advice to anyone looking into Bishop Hartley is make sure you visit us.
Yes, Hartley is a beautiful school, and we would love to have you come here. Thank you so much for everything you said today, Mrs. Rush. We really appreciate your efforts here at Hartley. Go Hawks!
Go Hawks!
Here at Ohio Athletic Performance, we have truly aligned our passions with our path and our purpose for why we are here. The vision for our company is to be able to influence and impact other people so they have the ability to reach the heights of their genetic potential, whatever that is. We train a wide demographic of individuals, all the way from young athletes to full-grown adults. We choose the things that we program very intentionally. And beyond the physical preparation that we offer people, for us it really is about the development of the holistic person, to be able to identify the things that they need, maybe unbeknownst to themselves, and then being able to bridge the gap for whatever it is that they want in their life, or what they aspire to have, or where they say that they want to go. So for us, we have aligned our passions with our purpose, and we know that we're on the proper path. And now what we're trying to do is facilitate that opportunity for everybody else to do the same.
We take physical preparation incredibly serious here at Ohio Athletic Performance. It's something that we pride ourselves on, whether it be athletes or adult clients. It's something that we want to make sure we're providing to the best of our ability. We want to make sure it's orthopedically safe. If they need rehabilitation, that's something that we can provide for them. And as Coach Strapp said, we're always intentional with everything we do, and we want to take the right steps to give that person exactly what they need.
From the adult perspective, the three things we see, a sense of community, improved health, and a great outlet.
We are intensely passionate about what it is that we do and the service that we offer, and we would love for you to come join our community.
Hi, this is Bob McElligott for Hutta and Price Orthodontics. Have you ever looked forward to going to any type of a doctor? Well, neither have I, but let me tell you, I do look forward to seeing Doctors Hutta and Price when I go to their practice. You know why? Well, it's as Dr. Hutta says. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And at Hutta and Price Orthodontics, you will know that they care from the very first visit. To find out the services that they provide or to set up a consultation, just go to their website at lovethatsmile.net. If you've ever dreamed of a career in the sports production industry, your dream could come true. The Ohio Media School is enrolling their next sports emphasis class soon. You'll learn about all the different aspects of what goes into the broadcast that you watch or listen to. Go from behind the scenes to the front of the camera. You'll also get hands-on opportunities to practice your skills through the Score On Air network. Call the Ohio Media School at 614-655-5250 or visit beonair.com/Columbus. Tonight's game is being brought to you by Score On Air and the Ohio Media School, Dr. Hutta and Price Orthodontics, the Lance and Eileen Porter Foundation, Brickleg Apparel, Ohio Athletic Performance, and Green Lawn RV.
Can you see yourself working on TV, radio, or social media? As media professionals, we make our voice heard. Call the Ohio Media School and be a part of something bigger than you and me. You'll train and get the skills you need to work in TV, radio, social media, film, and much more.
I graduated and now am working as a director of marketing at a local radio station. My future is set.
Call the Ohio Media School now and be a part of something bigger. 614-723-9675. 614-723-9675.
Hello, Hawks. My name is Lauren Whitlatch, and this is our Director of Admissions, Mrs. Rush. What would you like to tell us about any upcoming admission events?
The first thing I'd like to say is that I ask all of you to save the date for November 4th. It's a Thursday evening, and that will be our open house. So we invite middle school students who are interested in Bishop Hartley, as well as their families, to come to our open house event. That evening you'll hear from our principal, you'll get to take a campus tour, learn about our house system, our amazing academics, see our beautiful campus facilities, and all kinds of extracurriculars that we offer our students. So mark your calendar for November 4th, our open house.
How do we sign up and apply for these events?
So our admissions website, if you go to bishop-hartley.org, there's an admissions tab. And you can register for our upcoming events, and then our application will actually go live on that webpage on October 12th. So starting October 12th, once you fall in love with Hartley, if you're not already, then you can apply from our website. And the nice thing is, once you submit that application online, you'll get an email that gives you an individualized application checklist. And that's where you register for an admission test, upload your report cards, and things like that. So we absolutely help you every step along the way.
Is there any information you want to tell prospective students and their families?
Gosh, I would just encourage our prospective students to come and visit our school. Whether you come to open house or a shadow day, take a campus tour, Hartley is truly family. And although I wish I could bottle it up and put it in a marketing brochure, it's something you have to experience firsthand. And so, you know, we are who we say we are. We're a community, and we are built on faith, and our kids are brilliant and kind. And we want you to come on our campus and visit and experience that yourself. So I guess my advice to anyone looking into Bishop Hartley is make sure you visit us.
Yes, Hartley is a beautiful school, and we would love to have you come here. Thank you so much for everything you said today, Mrs. Rush. We really appreciate your efforts here at Hartley. Go Hawks!
Go Hawks!
Here at Ohio Athletic Performance, we have truly aligned our passions with our path and our purpose for why we are here. The vision for our company is to be able to influence and impact other people so they have the ability to reach the heights of their genetic potential, whatever that is. We train a wide demographic of individuals, all the way from young athletes to full-grown adults. We choose the things that we program very intentionally. And beyond the physical preparation that we offer people, for us it really is about the development of the holistic person, to be able to identify the things that they need, maybe unbeknownst to themselves, and then being able to bridge the gap for whatever it is that they want in their life, or what they aspire to have, or where they say that they want to go. So for us, we have aligned our passions with our purpose, and we know that we're on the proper path. And now what we're trying to do is facilitate that opportunity for everybody else to do the same.
We take physical preparation incredibly serious here at Ohio Athletic Performance. It's something that we pride ourselves on, whether it be athletes or adult clients. It's something that we want to make sure we're providing to the best of our ability. We want to make sure it's orthopedically safe. If they need rehabilitation, that's something that we can provide for them. And as Coach Strapp said, we're always intentional with everything we do, and we want to take the right steps to give that person exactly what they need.
From the adult perspective, the three things we see: a sense of community, improved health, and a great outlet.
We are intensely passionate about what it is that we do and the service that we offer, and we would love for you to come join our community.
Hi, this is Bob McElligott for Hutta and Price Orthodontics. Have you ever looked forward to going to any type of a doctor? Well, neither have I, but let me tell you, I do look forward to seeing Doctors Hutta and Price when I go to their practice. You know why? Well, it's as Dr. Hutta says. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And at Hutta and Price Orthodontics, you will know that they care from the very first visit. To find out the services that they provide or to set up a consultation, just go to their website at lovethatsmile.net. If you've ever dreamed of a career in the sports production industry, your dream could come true. The Ohio Media School is enrolling their next sports emphasis class soon. You'll learn about all the different aspects of what goes into the broadcast that you watch or listen to. Go from behind the scenes to the front of the camera. You'll also get hands-on opportunities to practice your skills through the Score On Air network. Call the Ohio Media School at 614-655-5250 or visit beonair.com/Columbus. Tonight's game is being brought to you by Score On Air and the Ohio Media School, Dr. Hutta and Price Orthodontics, the Lance and Eileen Porter Foundation, Brick Leg Apparel, Ohio Athletic Performance, and Green Lawn RV.
Can you see yourself working on TV, radio, or social media? As media professionals, we make our voice heard. Call the Ohio Media School and be a part of something bigger than you and me. You'll train and get the skills you need to work in TV, radio, social media, film, and much more.
I graduated and now am working as a director of marketing at a local radio station. My future is set.
Call the Ohio Media School now and be a part of something bigger. 614-723-9675. 614-723-9675.
Hello, Hawks. My name is Lauren Whitlatch, and this is our Director of Admissions, Mrs. Rush. What would you like to tell us about any upcoming admission events?
The first thing I'd like to say is that I ask all of you to save the date for November 4th. It's a Thursday evening, and that will be our open house. So we invite middle school students who are interested in Bishop Hartley, as well as their families, to come to our open house event. That evening you'll hear from our principal. You'll get to take a campus tour, learn about our house system, our amazing academics, see our beautiful campus facilities, and all kinds of extracurriculars that we offer our students. So mark your calendar for November 4th, our open house.
How do we sign up and apply for these events?
So our admissions website, if you go to bishop-hartley.org, there's an admissions tab. and you can register for our upcoming events, and then our application will actually go live on that webpage on October 12th. So starting October 12th, once you fall in love with Hartley, if you're not already, then you can apply from our website. And the nice thing is, once you submit that application online, you'll get an email that gives you an individualized application checklist. And that's where you register for an admission test, upload your report cards, and things like that. So we absolutely help you every step along the way.
Is there any information you want to tell prospective students and their families?
Gosh, I would just encourage our prospective students to come and visit our school. Whether you come to open house or a shadow day, take a campus tour. Hartley is truly family. And although I wish I could bottle it up and put it in a marketing brochure, it's something you have to experience firsthand. And so, you know, we are who we say we are. We're a community, and we are built on faith, and our kids are brilliant and kind. And we want you to come on our campus and visit and experience that yourself. So I guess my advice to anyone looking into Bishop Hartley is make sure you visit us.
Yes, Hartley is a beautiful school, and we would love to have you come here. Thank you so much for everything you said today, Mrs. Rush. We really appreciate your efforts here at Hartley. Go Hawks!
Go Hawks!
Back here, Jack Ryan Field at Bishop Hartley High School as we are getting set for the second half with the Hartley Hawks taking on St. Francis DeSales Stallions here tonight in the Central Catholic League matchup, the first league matchup of the season, the only meeting of the year between these two teams. Remember last year during the COVID season, these teams had to play each other 2 times during the regular season. They also met for a regional championship. DeSales won that game and went all the way to the state final game. The Hartley Hawks leading 21-14 in this one. The offense came out flying here tonight in the opening quarter, and then it was the defense at the very end of the half that was able to get the job done. Let's see how it started here. The Hawks, on their very first drive, they started at their own 40-yard line, and this is how they capped off the 60-yard drive. Niall Johnson, 25 yards for the touchdown, breaking a couple of tackles, getting to the outside, getting a beautiful block by Trey Saunders, and that's what opened up the left side of the field to give the Hawks the early lead in this one. They went up 7-0, but then it was DeSales that came right back. They countered, and they were able to get themselves on the board with the fake pitch. Whit Hobgood, senior quarterback, picks his way right through the middle, and he finds the end zone. They made it 7-6. They missed the extra point, and then Hartley comes back. Peyton Underwood with a long pass. Trey Saunders, perfect pass right into the hands of Saunders, and that's for the touchdown. At that point, it was actually 14-7 in favor of DeSales, and that made it, well, and this is why it was 14-7, because of this little scoop and run into the end zone for St. Francis DeSales. But they had taken the lead at that point, 14-7 before the Saunders touchdown. That made it 14-14, and then Richard Kenny, look at this, little catch, little curl, and then a big run for Richard. Gets a nice block, and he's able to get all the way to the end zone for the touchdown. That was late in the first half. The Hawks did that. They got the ball. They took about 16 seconds off the clock as they got the touchdown. That put them in the lead, 21-14. Then, as I said, right at the end of the first half, with only 3 seconds left in the first half, it was Aiden Turner that picked off Whit Hobgood in the end zone. And that's how the Hawks preserved their 7-point lead. And they are sitting in the driver's seat going into the start of the second half. They will come back out on defense as St. Francis DeSales will get the ball to start things off. Bob McElligott and Randall Sampson here with you tonight. And Randall, again, it was a great ending to the first half. Now it's time to regroup and play that second half of football.
Well, Bob, I tell you what, I like to see how they do their adjustments. So I went in with the team there at halftime to go check out. Just stand in the corner, watch the adjustments, see if anybody's panicking, see if the kids are too high. Even Steven, even Keel, they're sitting back, sipping on their Gatorades and their water. Coaches are making the adjustments on the board. They regathered, regrouped, made some key adjustments. I want to see if they execute on those adjustments coming out in the second half.
Tell you what, you got the VIP pass here, right? You got the prime press pass to go right in the locker room for the halftime.
Oh, I just slivered my way in.
Look like you belong, right?
Yeah. That's it. And, you just slide on the helmet. They have extra helmets there. You just slide on the helmet and move in with the team. You'll be just fine.
This night really started very special for Bishop Hartley. They had longtime coach Dick Geyer was here. He went out for the opening coin toss here tonight. That kind of sets a tone. When you bring that history back, not that any of these kids played for Coach Geyer, but a lot of people in this building know him, and he knows football.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's a Hall of Famer, and it reminds me of when Tressel went down to play Texas, and he had John Cooper and all the former coaches go down with him. So it's tradition. And like they say, tradition never graduates.
Another kick by Alex Gabriel through the end zone, meaning that DeSales will start at the 20-yard line. Now, if you're Whit Hobgood, this senior quarterback, you had the ball at the end of the first half. You're having a great drive. You're going down the field. You're hitting your receivers. You're picking them apart where you want them to go, and then all of a sudden they pick you in the end zone. He's coming out with something to prove here in the second half.
Yeah, and I think he's a stud. He's the dude, right? So let's see if he can do it more on his legs, because he was really hurting Hartley with his legs and less with his arm. So let's see if he'll put pressure on that defense by scrambling more up the middle than out the sides.
Well, they spread it out. This is what they've done all night. They've spread it out with 4 and 5 receiver sets. Bring a man in motion. They hand it off on the counterattack. Gabe Caruso, and Caruso with a nice gain. He'll get about 7 here. That misdirection, we talked about it in the first half. That's where they had their success, or they have had their success in this game.
And really just trying to slow Hartley down so they'll bring the guy over in motion, and the quarterback's going to read that defensive end. And if he stays wide, I'm handing it off. If he crashes, I'm holding it. So it's a good option, good play.
Second down and 3. Hand it off again. And Caruso breaks the first tackle. He will not break the second one. Well, it was the big Daniel Tucson that got in there and got an arm on him. That'll slow you down every time.
Yeah, and he doesn't go out of control. He's too experienced. The only Tucson's are too experienced. He'll close down, chop his feet, stop, spin that guy around, and here comes the cavalry to clean it up.
And McFeeder's one of the guys that came in there to clean it up.
And most of those guys, you'll see, they'll crash down out of control. The running back stops, and he's out for 60 yards.
Hobgood's going to take it himself up the middle. You called it. He's got the first down as he's up over the 35 to the 36-yard line. That's the perfect call for that, because there's so many options. You got to account for the running back and the misdirection, and then the quarterback goes, I'll just do this.
Yeah, and he's a dude. He's, you give him the ball, it's guaranteed 4 yards. They just have to figure out when can they get him the ball, because you don't want him to get beat up.
That's why you got to keep him in that third down and long situation where he can't necessarily do that. Caruso over the left side breaks one tackle, gets to the 40, maybe the 41-yard line. That's where they will set it down. Looks like a gain of 5.
And it looks like the DeSales plan is to attack that side of the defense and to keep working on that edge over there. But I think those guys on that side are going to start getting into a rhythm. They did first half. And now they flip-flop. Let's see if DeSales does the adjustment here. Now they've got the open side. Let's see if they roll the quarterback to the right or if they'll let him sit in the pocket.
I was just going to say they put Tucson on that right side now. They put Sherrod Bowens on the other side. Try to take that away. And he'll hand it off and again go up the middle. And this is going to be a gain. Well, it's going to be more of a gain. I thought it was 2. It's going to wind up being a first down when it's all said and done. Second effort by the Stallions running back to get the first down.
So upon contact, he does not have it, but he keeps his legs churning. He's got 3 guys hanging on him, and he keeps going, and then finally gets a little nudge from the offensive lineman. But other than that, that was all that running back picking up the extra 4 yards.
Avery Garlock, he's a sophomore running back. He didn't give up on that play. First down and 10.
And you like to see that out of a young running back, fresh legs coming to game like that, churning.
Hand it off to Garlock again. Picks his way through the left side. He's got the first down as he gets to the 38-yard line.
And this is directly into the DeSales game plan. Let's create misdirection, let a lot of motion go, but it's basically just a straight off-the-tackle power play. But the misdirection really slows you down as a defense because you have to start reading your keys and thinking.
Now DeSales starting to make a little bit of a move here. Getting a couple of big first downs. They're going to pitch it to the end around play here, and a great job by the Hawks. Dylan Newsom got in there to trip up Kyle nicely
And that jet sweep, I mean, that is tough to defend. And it looked like he got the corner and he's going to burst it up, but then everybody stayed in their gaps and just did gap field defense, and that takes a lot of discipline.
Gain of 4 on that play. 2nd down and 6. There's nicely right there, number 5 for DeSales.
But for DeSales, they'll take that. They'll take that 4-yard gain.
One time they gave it to that guy coming on the jet sweep instead of it just being a decoy.
That's right.
Hobgood hands it off. Again, it's Garlock. Again, he has got himself a 1st down. Well, all of a sudden, this guy comes into the game, and they're looking for an answer for him.
And that was a great power play by DeSales. So it looks like a bunch of misdirection, but it really wasn't. It was just a power play with a back leading through. And so it's hat on hat, man on man, and catching Hartley flat-footed. So the right guard pulls around, it's a power O play, fullback leads through with the help, and you get to the next level. So they're doing some good things with their design and their disguise, but it's just basic bread and butter football. There's nothing fancy, it's just the disguise with emotions.
Gabe Caruso comes back in now as out of the game is Avery Garlock. Fake the handoff to Caruso. Hobgood is sacked. He looked to throw downfield and went with a little pump fake, and Andrew McFeeters finished him off.
And that's a direct sack that falls over and spills over from the end of the quarter when he throws the interception, because he's going to the same place and he wants to pump it and get it over there, but he sees the defense was tight and he had to eat the ball. But that's a little bit better discipline, because now you can fight to live, you can live to fight another day rather than throwing that pick.
There you see Bowens actually is the guy that came through and forced him right into the arms of Andrew McFeeters.
And that's what happens when you have your lane integrity. Everybody stays in their lane when they pass rush. Doesn't allow for a lot of scrambling.
Loss of 9, 2nd and 19. Again, they pitch it to Nicely, and he gets near the original 1st down marker. He's going to be dropped after a gain of 8. It'll be 3rd down and 11.
Hey, you almost got a hold on that hook right here on the edge. Number 18. Boom, right there. He almost had a hook, but he let go real quick. And there's a good fill.
Again, Dylan Newsom all over the field, coming all the way across to make that tackle.
Let's see if Hartley lets him off the hook here, 3rd and long. Keep him behind the chains. And DeSales is looking like they're probably going to run some good screen action.
And the possibility is 4-down territory here, so they don't have to get it all in one bunch. Hobgood will throw, and he's got a man over the middle and down to the 20-yard line is Nicely with a reception. See, now they're looking at a 4th down and 3.
Yeah, and he ran a great route on that where they were in levels on the 2 on the trips, and then he hit the guy coming across in the slant. But that short tackle right there puts him in 4th down situation. So that was a good tackle by Hartley.
Well, another one of these plays, 4th down and 3, 4th down 4 in that neighborhood there, 4th down and long 3. Do you spy the quarterback here? Because he loves to run.
He's the dude.
And there he goes, right up the middle. Not only does he get a 1st down, he is all the way to the end zone for the touchdown. Wid Hobgood takes it all the way to the end zone.
And when I say he's the dude, he stumbles at the 6 and maintains his composure to get to the end zone. And it was just a basic run option. And he opens his hips with the option, reads it, sees the gap, and explodes through it.
Well, it looks like they're coming out to go for 2 again. Again, they missed an extra point on the 1st touchdown. So they're going to attempt to take the lead. Got Nicely in the slot. They'll bring him in motion. And Hobgood will take it himself, and he is going to be down, I think, shy of the goal line. There is no indication from an official on either side of the field.
If he's short less than a whisker, less than an inch, and the official's putting his foot right by the line, and they're trying to confer this one. And it looks like the Hartley held.
Yeah, Hartley stopped him. And the Hawks maintain the lead, 21-20.
5:15 left in the 3rd. Hartley.
Well, that's a victory you have to take out of that drive, right?
That's right, and that's one of the things that you have to have all phases of the game. And the kicking game is very important. And if you don't have a field goal kicker that can get it through for a tie game, and you have to go for 2 every time, it makes it very difficult on your offense to carry.
Or if you don't have one that you're confident in. And I don't know. He missed the one early on. They haven't gone back to, I understand, the other touchdown. They want to go ahead and get that point back they missed. But this time they opt to go for it again. So whatever the reason is, not exactly sure. But look how close he gets to getting to the end zone.
All in his knee touches right before he goes in.
Give the officials credit, especially there on the left side of the screen coming in. And there's a lot of lobbying going on there. Now obviously the Hawks offense has to answer here. Got to get more points.
And I'm almost wondering, because they're doing this punch kickoff, whether it's the confidence in the kicker or not, but would you slide your 2 guys up? So just switch your 2 fast guys to the middle level so they can get the ball and explode through that hole.
Oh, and here's the ball is going to be out to about the 30. Where are they going to mark this thing? About the 32-yard line. Sean Tucker taking it as one of the up men this time.
Yeah, you put 2 in those up positions. You put 2 layers of speed, and now you have to choose your poison. Do I kick at the speed at the upper layer, or do I kick the speed at the back layer? Well, how's Hartley going to answer? That's going to be the question.
Well, they'd love to answer by running the football and working the clock. That is their MO, and here goes Niall Johnson trying to do just that. He turns the corner for a couple of yards on the far sideline.
And that's the bread and butter, right? So that's part of the identity. Let's go student body to the short side of the field and try to bite the corner for a few yards.
And we've got an injury timeout as one of the Stallions is down on that far sideline. So the injury timeout after a pickup of 3 on the carry.
And it looks like they're working on his leg. Maybe it's just a cramp. He's not squirming around a lot. So he's sitting up straight. And he's flexing his toes, so it looks like it's a cramp situation in the calf maybe as he's getting up.
Yeah, getting up, and I think you're absolutely right. Just trying to shake it off over there on the far sideline. 4:56 remaining here in the second half.
And we try to tell people, hey, this is the Game of Thrones in Ohio. Champion versus champion. And people say, oh, look at their records. They're not that good this year. Guys, the records don't matter in this kind of game.
Well, when you can't just look at the records, you have to look at the competition that they played leading into this game, right? And when you do that, you'll see that what you're saying is absolutely right.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Here is a new name. Zambezi Bay.
21-20, the Hawks have the lead.
Waves of terror.
Had a timeout on the field for the injury. That injured player was Kofi Aduro. As Randall said, it looked like, speculated it was just a cramp because he was able to get up and shake that off. And so we're just about ready to go. 2nd down and 7.
So now the temptation is you get a kid like that that's out of the game, you get somebody fresh in. Do you keep pounding that middle with the new person in there and knock them around a little bit, get that 5 to 8 yards? Or do you try to take the top off because you know their defensive backs can't run with you?
Well, we got Dylan Newsome in the backfield here. They're going to bring Saunders in motion, then hand it on the quick handoff to Newsome. Right up the middle he goes. 1st down, and he's to the 50. Cuts to the left, gets some blocking, gets inside the 25, and is knocked out of bounds with a flag at the 18.
And I tell you what, great call by Birchfield and the offense. They knew they had a new nose guard coming in the game, and they said, hey, let's bang it around on the inside, knock this kid out the next week, and let's run it right in the middle like a Mack truck, and that Mack truck got going.
And we've talked about the misdirection that DeSales has run all night. that time, when you see Trey Saunders going into the backfield like that, you have got to respect him because of what he can do. That draws your attention. All of a sudden, the quick handoff, and they never adjust it.
Well, here it is. It's Trey's going in motion. Everybody's heartbeat goes up, and boom, a quick hitter in the middle with a new nose guard in the game. And you got a running back, and this is what I like the best. Switch the ball to the outside of the hand, young man. That gets you extra yards because when you get right here, you get the boom, stiff arm. Boom, get off me. And then he gets out of bounds with the late hit in the 15.
That has the ball down inside the 10 at the 9-yard line. First down and goal for the Hartley Hawks. Peyton Underwood hands it off. Niall Johnson, a little stutter step, and he keeps on leaning forward. He'll get a couple of yards.
Hartley has found some damage on the inside of DeSales. There are guys falling like flies, and that's Hartley's MO. We want to wear you down, wear you down, wear you down with our big guys up front and keep mauling you.
And again, another injury timeout here. Jalen Carpenter. He's the left tackle. And he's down on the ground right now. Same thing.
Well, in the situation that you have now is you're replacing one injured guy with another injured guy.
So the injury timeout on the field, we'll step aside. The Hawks are driving. They're leading 21-20. This is Hartley Hawks football.
Hi, this is Bob McElligott for Hutta and Price Orthodontics. Have you ever looked forward to going to any type of a doctor? Well, neither have I. But let me tell you, I do look forward to seeing Doctors Hutta and Price when I go to their practice. You know why? Well, it's as Dr. Hutta says. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And at Hutta and Price Orthodontics, you will know that they care from the very first visit. To find out the services that they provide or to set up a consultation, just go to their website at lovethatsmile.net. If you've ever dreamed of a career in the sports production industry, your dream could come true. The Ohio Media School is enrolling their next sports emphasis class soon. You'll learn about all the different aspects of what goes into the broadcast that you watch or listen to. Go from behind the scenes to the front of the camera. You'll also get hands-on opportunities to practice your skills through the Score On Air network. Call the Ohio Media School at 614-655-5250 or visit beonair.com/Columbus.
Hartley looking at a second down and goal. Now Johnson deep in the backfield as Peyton Underwood goes up under center. And they will fake the handoff. Underwood rolling, throwing to the back of the end zone. His man had fallen down.
Oh, and I tell you, he was wide open in the back, and the ball was behind him, and he had to stop and hit the brakes, and he slipped.
Anthony Murphy, the intended receiver there. We've seen that play before. They love to roll Underwood out to the right, and they send Murphy right with him along the back line to the end zone.
But anytime you have the ball inside the 10 around here at Hartley, they call that CW time. This is Chuck Wooten time. It's time to eat, baby. So we got to see if the big guys up front can maul that defense down and get the ball in the end zone.
A little different look this time. They've got Saunders just to the right of Underwood. Johnson is there. They will drop him back now and running back on either side. Kind of hand it off to Niall Johnson. A little misdirection, and he will get inside the 5. It's going to be down to the 2.
Niall Johnson takes it inside.
Taking the points here, you're trying for the touchdown. They're going to try for the touchdown. They bring in the big boys. Isaac Sadu comes in to play on the line. Deontay Hubbard and Sherrod Bowens come in. They're going to try to pound this thing
and
right across that goal line.
I'll tell you what, you have a running back like that that's a pounder, but he also has good feet. That's dynamic. He was stopped dead to rights in that play. He found a little sliver to get those extra 3 yards. So let's see what happens here.
Deontay Hubbard is lined up in the fullback position. Going to send Sherrod Bowens in motion. Hand it off. Johnson finds his way to the end zone. Touchdown!
And it is CW time. Chuck Wooten time. It's time to eat. Feed the big guys up front. This is what they like. They like to line up and knock them down. And I'm sure Chuck Wooten is loving this at this moment. Chuck is the late offensive line coach here at Bishop Hartley, and a great line of awesome offensive line coaches, him and Coach Ramsey.
There you see, that's why he could just step right in over the goal line because of the work that those guys in front of him did. Extra point attempt, and that is up. And once again, Alex Gabriel puts it through.
Oh, he has a nice swing on that leg. Oh, my goodness. So smooth. So smooth.
28-20.
But we talk about this being the Game of Thrones. And for some of the folks who've seen the Game of Thrones and understand that level of war and warfare, that running play right there showed it all. You had 3 guys leading through the hole, and the running back has his hand on their hips, and he's pounding through there. And those guys are all staying low, and they're saying, make a hole, because here comes my guy, and my guy's going to move your guy, and we're going to have flesh on flesh, and we're going to pound you and beat you and get in there. Boom, he's in. As a running back, you got to love that.
4th down play, they convert, extend the lead to 8 points. 3:24 remaining here in the 3rd quarter of this game, and we've still got a long way to go.
And you know, when you go for 2 and don't get it, now it's back to a 2-score game. So it creates a little bit more pressure, adds another wrinkle.
Look at this guy, Alex Gabriel. He is bombing it tonight.
This kid has a big-time leg.
Yeah. You know, Ryan Hawk was a kicker here for the last couple of years, and I asked some of the staff here, you know, where are you with the kicking game? Because, you know, it was set for a few seasons. And they said, we like it. We like it. It's good. And this is why it's good.
And this shows it right here. Well, here we are in the 3rd quarter, 3 minutes left. 2-score game, but it's not over.
No, not by a long shot.
You got to think about the tradition here. These 2 schools sending kids to Ohio State, to Michigan, to Notre Dame, to Oklahoma, playing in national championships, kids winning national championships at the collegiate level. This is what football is all about.
A lot of movement. In fact, too much. 5-yard penalty against DeSales.
Puts them behind the chains, which is what they don't want.
They had Kyle Nicely. He was breaking toward one side of the field. He put the brakes on, came back the other way. He's a guy that they've gotten involved in the offense here in this 3rd quarter. Jet sweeps, catching passes. They have him lined up in the slot.
And it's nice having an athlete like that at your disposal. So you just got to keep moving him around and finding a way for him to get the ball.
There he goes in motion. And hand it off to Caruso. Bowens, he's got him, and Tucker comes to help.
And that's what these Hartley defensive ends do really well. They secure that edge, squeeze down, and don't overrun the pursuit. They squeeze, 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 get over here. So you get the line that jumps on that gazelle's back. So the line wins for today and gets to eat.
Gain of 1, 2nd down 14.
And the Hartley defensive front looks actually very relaxed. They don't look like they've been out on the field for a lot of plays. Hands aren't on the hips. They're looking around, getting their plays and getting set.
Quick snap to Hobgood. He is going to run, and he runs nowhere. Oh,
he pitched at the last minute. Wow. What a pitch.
Oh, he did get that away at the last second.
At the last second.
Because Dylan Newsom came up there and put the lick on him.
Well, and this is what you don't want if you're DeSales. So now he gets up hobbling. You're getting your dude beaten up. This is what we talked about. You don't want him to get nicked up. And it almost looked like a shovel pass at the last second. I don't think he was behind him. And he's running a little bit vertical with him at the very last second, gets hit on that knee.
Yeah, he got it to Caruso.
But now you have your number 1 guy out there hobbling and in pain with the bad leg. So we're going to see how he responds.
He responds by handing it off. And this is going to be a short gain off the left side.
He's still out there gimping around, so this puts a lot of pressure on that DeSales offense because now you only become one-dimensional. And if you're asking that quarterback to stand back there in that pocket and throw, and that defensive rush is just fierce. So he won't be able to run anywhere unless he pulls a rabbit out the hat.
Caruso tackled by Daniel Toos, and Avery Garlock now checks into the backfield for DeSales. Garlock has had a couple of big runs here in the 3rd quarter. 3rd quarter winding down. Minute 36 left in it.
And this is where DeSales escapes every time. They're 2nd and long, then they gain some good yards.
Garlock takes it, And he gets stopped at the 40-yard line. They were ready for him that time. It'll be a 3rd down and 6.
So your quarterback's become one-dimensional because he's nicked up. So all he can do is hand off the ball, and that really helps Hartley's defense tee it up. So let's see if they can hold here. This is definitely 2-down territory, I would suspect, depending on how much they get on this 3rd down.
We may also see how much he is nicked up because he gets a chance to run. I still think he tries to run. But 3rd down a little bit longer here. I'd like to get him going with about 3 or 4 yards. This is a bit beyond that. But they do hand it off, and they're going to get close to the 1st down. I think they give him the 1st down. Yes. Turn the corner. Garlock is all the way up to the 48-yard line.
Yeah, and the sales offensive staff has realized the quarterback's a little nicked up. Give him some time to kind of get his leg back together. So he's been handing the ball off just straight. This is the first time all game where we've seen him just hand the ball off straight. Just window dressing, and you're getting that guy going off the edge. He had no intention of holding the ball.
1st down and 10. Garlock again. This time he is met at the line of scrimmage.
There's a lot of bodies flying around down there.
One of the Hawks hobbling, Isaac Asedu. And they are going to quickly send a man out there to get him off the field. Donovan Davis checks in for him.
And the big fella comes rolling off the field at the end. He was afraid he wasn't going to get off in time.
Yeah. Which also means I think he's all right.
Oh, yeah.
Because he was hustling at the end there. In the meantime, he could have walked with all the time DeSales has taken to get the play in. And they're not going to get it in. Yeah, he really could have walked. The quarter is ended.
Quarter's over.
Yeah, well, get to do a little barrel roll, and that'll wake you up, make you feel better for the 4th quarter. That's where we're headed. As the Hartley Hawks have a 28-20 lead over St. Francis DeSales. This is Hartley Hawks football.
Tonight's game is being brought to you by Score on Air and the Ohio Media School, Dr. Hutta and Price Orthodontics, the Lance and Eileen Porter Foundation, Brick League Apparel, Ohio Athletic Performance, and Green Lawn RV. Hi, this is Bob McElligott for Hutta and Price Orthodontics. Have you ever looked forward to going to any type of a doctor? Well, neither have I, but let me tell you, I do look forward to seeing Doctors Hutta and Price when I go to their practice. You know why? Well, it's as Dr. Hutta says. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And at Hutta and Price Orthodontics, you will know that they care from the very first visit. To find out the services that they provide or to set up a consultation, just go to their website at lovethatsmile.net. If you've ever dreamed of a career in the sports production industry, your dream could come true. The Ohio Media School is enrolling their next sports emphasis class soon. You'll learn about all the different aspects of what goes into the broadcast that you watch or listen to. Go from behind the scenes to the front of the camera. You'll also get hands-on opportunities to practice your skills through the Score on Air network. Call the Ohio Media School at 614-655-5250 or visit beonair.com/Columbus.
Can you see yourself working on TV, radio, or social media? As media professionals, we make our voice heard. Call the Ohio Media School and be a part of something bigger than you and me. You'll train and get the skills you need to work in TV, radio, social media, film, and much more.
I graduated and now am working as a director of marketing at a local radio station. My future is set.
Call the Ohio Media School now and be a part of something bigger. 614-723-9675. 614-723-9675.
Welcome back to Jack Ryan Field, where we are set to start the 4th quarter. Bishop Hartley with a 28-20 win over, or 28-20. I'm predicting that's not right. 28-20 lead over St. Francis DeSales. Bob McElligott and Randall Sampson here with you tonight. As DeSales does have the ball. It's 2nd down and 10.
It's a full 4 quarter of the game. It's not 3 quarters. So.
I know, and you hate to slip up on that stuff because then if the things don't go your way, I guess you get accused of jinxing it. You know what I mean? I know that feeling. Here is a handoff and a big hit by Deshaun Tucker as he takes his man out of it. Rashay Smith taking that ball. They put Hobgood under center that time, which they haven't done much of, if any, here tonight.
And that is great linebacker play. It's a slow read play, and you have to read your keys. But the key to that, once again, is that defensive line. They're tangling up the offensive linemen, reading their keys, squeezing down, and the linebacker comes over the top and scrapes.
Rashawn Benton lost his helmet. He has to leave for a play for DeSales here. 3rd down and 10.
Now I want to see if this fourth quarter, if that quarterback shook off that leg injury, and if he's ready to go.
Spread it out with a 4-receiver set for him, and he drops back, and he does want to throw. And he looks, and he throws, and he's got a man wide open at the 49-yard line who leans forward. And it depends upon the spot. I think they're going to mark him just slightly short.
Yeah, this is 4th and 1, and it's definitely to 4th down territory where you go for it. And now you got to stack the box and see who's going to hold up. And Hartley has to be aware of the window dressing. And they have that speed that goes to the outside. Let's see what happens.
Kyle Nicely was the one that caught that pass, and he got 9 yards.
And that was a good move by that receiver to pick up a couple extra yards. You get out in space like that, you ask your receiver to make a move.
Well, DeSales burning a lot of time here. 4th down and 1. Hobgood takes it, hands it off. Caruso, he is caught. He is driven backwards. He is stopped.
Now, this is what you don't want to do. You don't want to have baby Ed Oliver screaming across. He took on his blocker and the running back all in the same spot. Boom.
Daniel Tucson.
This is what happens when you have the strongest man in the program. It's that kind of strength all summer long, all spring, lifting, running, and being ready for this moment in time where you have to figure out, I got an inch to give, and I'm not going to give it.
Talked earlier in the game about moments. That's a big one right there. What can be bigger is if this offense can get back into the end zone and extend this lead.
So the question is, do you go for the jugular right here? Do you take the top off?
It's not a question for me. I mean,
you have the speed. Take a jab at it.
Hand it off to Trey Saunders. Breaks a tackle, gets a block, and gets knocked out of bounds. You know, sometimes you look at a 4-yard gain and you say, that was great work to get 4 yards.
Well, the great thing about this is you get a Daniel Tucson makes a big play like that, and then he flips over, gets on the other side of the ball, and has a critical hook block that seals his guy in for that run. So the ability just to flip the switch from defense to offense like that, that takes a special player.
They give him 5 where he went out of bounds. So nice run by Saunders. Hawks have spread it around tonight. They always do spread it around, but I mean when it gets to get the ball into the end zone, Underwood's thrown 2 touchdown passes. He'll hand it off to Niall Johnson. Johnson looking to pick his way over the 50-yard line, and he's got more, and he almost broke that thing. He just got caught at the last second, dropped 2 yards shy of the first down marker. Jackson Carowin saved the first down, maybe more.
And it looks like they're going to wave it in for a first down.
All right, that's even better.
Well, the thing that you love to see is you're seeing a wave of blue offensive linemen, and you're seeing them laying on their bellies 10 yards down the field. That means they are engaged in their blocks all the way down the field. So that was a really good push. And we've seen that about 3 or 4 times tonight, so we'll see if they continue tonight.
At the 47-yard line. No misdirection and a toss. Saunders with speed inside the 30-yard line and taken down at the 22 with a flag.
Looks like somebody got a hold of the face mask over there. But when you get speed out in space like that, and that guy has that kind of jets, and you start to panic as a defensive back, and you're grabbing for anything possible to make that play. So let's see what the call is.
Dead ball. Personal foul. Number 23 of the defense. 15-yard penalty. After distance to the ball. First down.
Now we'll take a look at it at the end of this play.
Yeah, because when you get this guy out in space, people panic. When you get speed like that out in space, so good misdirection, and it's just a scissors in the backfield, and he bites that corner. Now you can see the whites of their eyes as they panic. They don't know what to do, and he grabs the face mask at the end, number 8 did.
So that is a big penalty against DeSales. Jonathan Moss gets called for that penalty. And that puts the ball down at about the 12-yard line.
And that's the first time I've seen Hartley run that play tonight. They've set it up really well all night long, and they pulled that one out of the hat.
No, it's really nice as a quarterback. If you can toss the ball 2 or 3 yards, you wind up getting about 30 out of it. Right?
You become a great quarterback that way.
Right. Here's a handoff. And Johnson, this time, he has nowhere to run. There was some good penetration that time as Rashay Smith actually was able to knife in underneath and make the tackle.
And that's a quintessential Hartley football play right there. And Jared Brandaway used to be the quarterback, and he used to love that play. So he'll pitch it, and he'll go 100 miles an hour, and he was a big kid. He's about 6'3", big kid, and he'll like to take out those offensive linemen, and he'll stand over top, or those defensive linemen, he'll stand over top and start talking mess. As a quarterback, I'm like, what are you doing, man? And he said, Coach, that's how we do it. I said, okay.
2nd down and 10. Shift Underwood back into the shotgun here. Hand it off to Saunders. Could not get to the corner.
Yeah, his convoy left them a little bit too soon. They got engaged on their blocks and they slipped off to go to the next level. If they would have kept those blocks at that first level, he'll be in the end zone at this moment.
Rashay Smith again making that tackle. That's 2 big tackles for him on this series in these last 2 plays. So now you're looking at a 3rd down and 10.
So is this a placement call that you're running? So I'm wondering if this is a placement call. So do we line up just so our kicker can get a chance, because that puts it out of reach?
Fake the handoff, throw the ball toward the end zone. Incomplete. Trey Saunders, the intended receiver.
Yeah, he threw it on the inside instead of the outside. Usually the target is that pylon, that back corner pylon. If you throw it at that back corner pylon, let your receiver run under it and tiptoe out the back end zone. He just threw it to the inside of the pylon, about 4 or 5 yards inside.
Alex Gabriel, and will attempt this field goal.
So this is going to be a tough kick. This will really test the young man, because you have to cross over your body. And you don't want to cross too much or else you'll hook it. So let's see what he does.
Will Heskett, the holder. Kick coming from the 19-yard line, 29-yard attempt. Ball is up. That ball is good.
And that's the level of play that makes a difference, having a kicker of that caliber. So now you're putting the game away. Still a lot of time left, but it's starting to become pressure time now for DeSales. So their game plan has to change a little bit. And once you get them out of the game plan, meaning stretch the field, that is their weakness. They cannot stretch the field. They don't have the athletes to do it.
And in a little bit more jeopardy because, yeah, it's a 2-score game. But one of those scores has to be a touchdown and then a 2-point conversion, not just a kick for an extra point on the end of that.
No.
But again, with 7:29 left here, a lot of time in this 4th quarter. It's really going to come down to the defense again. Can you make the plays defensively that you need to make? If they can do that, then they go ahead and they put this one away tonight.
Well, and this is where the defense showed how much they've improved since Benedictine. So now they have a little bit more confidence to get up there and press.
This kick is a short kick, taken at the 4-yard line. And down at the 17-yard line. That was a great job of coverage by the Hawks, and that was Rory Ralston making the play.
And those guys love to go down there on that blood and guts team and have the ability to make a play. It's seldom, because the ball's always out the back of the end zone, that you get a return. But once they get a return, they're down there in the blitz, and they're getting after it.
So here's where that defense is going to be asked to get the job done right here.
The key question is, how well is that quarterback's leg? Can he throw off of that leg?
Well, they don't have Caruso in there. They've got Garlock in there. And he takes a football, and boom, he takes a hit at the 24-yard line. Great job of finishing off that tackle.
And this is the one time where you have your defensive end for Hartley. Instead of closing down hard, punching that inside arm for 52, he punches that outside arm, gets kicked out, and creates a natural gap. And it forces the linebackers to bubble up. You have to kick down and punch that inside arm, make that running back bounce. So that's a great job by 52 digging out that guy, knowing that I have to attack his inside shoulder.
8-yard gain on the play. Quarterback keeps it, and he's going to be caught by Deshaun Tucker, but he is across the 25-yard line up to the 28. That'll be a first down.
So this goes back to my theory about the gazelle and the lion. So this gazelle is limping out there, and these lions are hungry. They see him limping. He can't cut. He's limping, and these lions are coming after him. They're salivating, and they can smell it. They're ready to attack now. But this guy has a lot of guts, so we'll see how much he has left in the tank.
Garlock sets up alongside him here. Hobgood is going to throw down the near sideline. That ball is caught at midfield. Nice job by Isaac Pekarczyk.
Well, there's some stuff happening at Hartley. We'll watch this replay. It's a good back shoulder throw, and that receiver does a good job adjusting on it and coming back. And we had some issues with the clock. It was at 6:43, but they readjusted it because they kept time on the field. And so now it's down to 6:31 and running.
See if Hobgood goes to the air anymore here as they start to march down the field. Not this time. Hands it off to Garlock, trying to string it out. And Dylan Newsom takes care of him inside the 45 at the 43.
Well, that's a good play by Hartley, forcing that running back to cut back in instead of riding him out of bounds and saving some time. So just that in itself, keeping that clock running, it's a good play by that defense. You gave up a couple yards, but you're getting the time off the clock. And they got man-to-man coverage at the top. Let's see if they'll go after him. The quarterback just peeked to his right a little bit up there to see what the coverage is. And let's see if that high safety can get over there.
Hobgood wants to run it himself, and he does up the middle. Terod Bowens gets a hand on him. They finally finish him off and bring him down, but not until he gets to the 26 for another first down.
The big fella said, I'm going to put it on my back, and I'm going to take it. I'm hobbling, I'm hurt, but I'm going to take it.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, this is a good run. But again, right there, you see a little bit awkward as he gets slowed down, and he limped away from that play as well.
And this kid is tough. He is a dude. Like you said, he's a big, burly kid. And you look at him and you're thinking, okay, I got to make a business decision when this guy comes down the hole.
Yeah.
At some point in time, they're going to have to try to stretch that Hartley defense and see if they can hit that man-to-man up top.
They're almost about out of time, and they have to take a timeout. There was a lot of confusion getting the play in from the sidelines for DeSales.
And see, this is what you don't want to do. You can't blow a timeout on confusion, especially down towards the end of the game like this when you need those timeouts. And I can guarantee you this scenario or these plays with the quarterback being hurt, this was not part of the halftime adjustment.
Right.
This was not part of their halftime plan. So now they're putting in plays that they haven't practiced. And like that, the old adage is, you don't put in what you haven't practiced.
Well, and you make a great point about having to take that timeout because you know Hartley right now sitting on an 11-point lead. Let's just say DeSales was to get down there and score a touchdown, even if they make it a 3-point game. You know the Hawks are going to run the football. They're going to try to work the clock. Now, because of the confusion, because you couldn't get the play in, whatever, that is one less tool that you had to try to stop that clock at crunch time when you're going to need it.
Oh, absolutely. And the fact that you don't have, well, we haven't seen a field goal kicker yet for them. So now you're forced to have to score another touchdown instead of just, kicking a field goal to tie it.
Well, they got the play now. Take the ball, fake the hand off to Garlock. Hobgood wants to throw, and he wants to throw for the end zone, and that ball is off the hands of the intended receiver, incomplete.
And that was Murphy out there running man-to-man. I tell you, that kid's a heck of an athlete. But what he doesn't do is he doesn't panic. He looks back, he knows it's coming, and he's not going to panic. He just puts his hands up to create a shield, and it makes no contact with the receiver at all, so there's no flag. You know how hard it is to run full speed and peek back at a quarterback and maintain your composure?
Braden Jen was the intended receiver. Second down 10. Pitch it to Smith, and he cuts, but right into Tucson. Like, if there's one guy you don't want to run toward, even accidentally, it's Daniel Tucson.
Big-time player, step up in big-time games. He throws an offensive tackle off like he's a little kid on a playground and tackles this running back like the Hulk is taking a doll and smacking him on the ground.
So it's a loss of 1, 3rd down 11.
And burning that timeout causes this to where you have to start rushing and getting off track of your game plan.
Empty set, quarterback getting pressured, and he gets the ball away, but it's incomplete.
Hey, somebody has let the beast loose out there. Daniel Tucson came off that corner with a vengeance, screaming, and the quarterback could feel him, and he couldn't hold the ball any longer, and that pressure just got to him. Boom, he ducked right up underneath him, and that's what we call an ultimate whiff. I don't think that offensive tackle touched him.
I think you're right about that. He just stepped right around him. Now it's 4th down and 11. And DeSales has to take a second timeout. Well, again, incomplete pass. Clock's already stopped. But now you've got to take a timeout and set up a 4th down and 11 play here.
And this is not in their bag, right? So all game long, we know they get into 1st and 10, then they get to 2nd and 4, 3rd and 1, and then they get the 1st down. So that's been their play calling all game long. 4th and 11, I don't think they have anything in the playbook for that.
Well, again, they have tried to stretch field a little bit passing-wise. They do have some guys. You know, Kyle Nicely had a big reception earlier in this half, but you're right. Maybe it's not so much they don't have it, but they haven't shown it tonight. They haven't been able to do it consistently tonight, at least.
That's right. And you can't start putting things in that you haven't practiced, and that's the key right there. So now you're on the sideline, you call that timeout, you're in that huddle, and you're trying to make sure that everybody understands their responsibility about what they're trying to do for a play that they haven't practiced. So that makes it even more difficult. And then hopefully nobody jumps off sides, and that puts you back another 5 because everybody's overthinking it.
Now this group is pretty confident right now, but they know they've got to make this play. You know, still enough time in this game, and it's winding down, but if you somehow allow them to get a 1st down here, or if they're able to get it all the way down the field and they get a touchdown, then the pressure changes, right? The entire situation changes.
Well, I want to see where the mismatches are because they've tried different mismatches to figure it out with the chess pieces out there. And the last mismatch that they thought they had was to put the pressure on Murphy down here in the corner and stretch him, but he ran stride for stride with the guy. So let's see if there's any mismatches out there that we can pick up.
5 receivers. With Hobgood dropping back. Plenty of time. Takes a hit, but the throw is incomplete. Well, he had plenty of time, and then the time disappeared. And he short hopped the intended receiver.
And I'll tell you, that was a level of pressure from Isaac.
Isaac Asedu.
Oh, my goodness.
There he is, number 77, right in the middle.
Right in the middle, pushing, because you're getting double teams on the outside for those defensive ends that are screaming. And so he's one-on-one in the middle. They're just pushing straight up and created a level of pressure that quarterback's not ready for.
Well, now if you're the Hartley Hawks, you know that you control your own destiny here. You've got 3 minutes and 50 seconds left. Your opponent has 1 timeout. You are a team that runs the football. A couple of 1st downs, you can get this job done.
And this is ball security. My man against your man, flesh against flesh. How can I move one man into a position that he doesn't want to move into?
Hand it off to Johnson. Niall over the 30-yard line. It's up to the 33.
And this is what you like to see at the end. This is pancakes heaven time right here. So you get Tucson getting up off the ball late, and you're wondering why is he getting up so slow. There's a guy underneath him. He squished him, and the guy has his nose all sideways into his helmet.
The Hawks will take every second that they can take here before snapping the football as well. Little pistol formation this time for Underwood. Low snap. Still is able to hand it off to Johnson, but Niall had to fight his way to the 30-yard line for a loss of 3.
And his ball security at this time. You saw a little bit of fumble there, and things got bobbled around a little bit, but they got back control to it, because that can be dangerous if you let the ball hit the ground.
Johnson's carry.
Yeah, because that would just be creating a spark, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And DeSales know what's coming. So they're lining up, gearing up, going at it hardcore. Like I said, this game is never over. For these two teams, they fight till the very end.
So now it's 3rd down and 7. Give it to Saunders. Trey changes direction, and he's back out to about the 33. And DeSales will now expend that final timeout with 2:09 left on the clock.
And that's a veteran move right there in itself, where you see a Trey that instead of finding his way to the sideline, he said, you know what, I'm going to eat it, cut it back in the middle, let the clock run, because I know they have to blow their last timeout. A younger kid would have got panicked and went to the sidelines, got out of bounds, and stopped the clock.
Well, it does bring up an interesting situation here, 4th down and 4. So you're going to punt the football. Not a big deal, right? Well, maybe, because there's been great pressure by DeSales right up the middle toward Peyton Underwood before he punts here tonight. They've come close a couple of times. They also forced one off the side of his foot that didn't go very far at all.
Yeah, and so DeSales is probably going to have a sellout like this running play right here on this replay. You can see it's a sellout, so they're all coming. And instead of going to the sideline, said, nope, I'm just going to take it in the middle, take my medicine, and keep the clock running, let them burn their timeout. But if I'm Hartley, I'm prepping my punter right now. You're going to get a lot of pressure, so get it out. And if you feel like you're getting too much pressure where it's going to get blocked, the block is going to come from your right-hand side. Go left, run left. You've got that whole field over there, so they got the wide side of the field on left side. If you feel any kind of pressure, do not take the block. Go left, give our defense a time to fight instead of letting them get a scoop and score. Let's see what DeSales does here.
Peyton Underwood ready to kick it. Jackson Carowin back to receive, and he did get it away, and there were arms in the air. Caraway takes it, gets by the would-be first tackler, but Bryce January got right back into that play, and Aiden Turner finished it off.
And I tell you, that was a dangerous proposition by DeSales to pick that up, but they have to take a chance. So he had to see if he can bust one loose and maybe take it to the house. But that kicker just punched it out, didn't he? I mean, that was a great job punching it out. That's good coaching on the sideline, knowing that there's going to be pressure like that.
Yes, he did. He stayed with it. Again, he's seen it about 3 times previous tonight. So
absolutely. When you're flipping the field, so you got a good 30, 40 yards on flipping the field. And that's not in DeSales' game plan to go off the top deep every play.
Well, now you can drop back, and they may let some underneath passes here. We'll have to see.
And this is dangerous. So you got a 3-man rush.
Throw to the far side, and that is caught. Richard Kenny able to wrestle down the receiver.
I tell you what. Look out for Richard Kenny the Fox is what I'm going to call him, because he's laying back there, and he's going to jump that out and take it to the house. He has that kind of ability, so he's just baiting them out there.
Isaac Pekarchik caught that pass. Hobgood throws to the near side, and this is caught by the receiver on the ground when he catches the ball, so that'll stop that play. Cooper Simpson put that one away.
So you got a quarterback that's not as comfortable throwing the ball. On top of it, he's not comfortable with that injury. So it's messing up his mechanics, and everything else is going sideways with him. So we'll see if he can fight through the pain and fight through some of these mechanics.
Well, again, here's confusion. They had 3 guys to the short side here. And now they want to line up 3 guys on the wide side of the field. That took a lot of time they don't have. And there is Sherrod Bowens, and he's able to grab Hobgood. Hobgood looked it over. There was nothing there, and then he was on the ground.
Yeah, he doesn't have that wheel anymore. And like I said, he's an injured gazelle out there, and those Lions up front, they're feasting, buddy. They're pinning their ears back, and they're saying it's time to go eat. Let's go get some quarterback meat.
43 seconds left. It is 4th down and 4.
Let's see what these Lions do up front. They're salivating.
Quick throw, and that's incomplete. And it'll be a turnover on down. All right, so I got to ask you this question. You came out here. Let's watch this play one more time, and then I'll ask you.
And this is just pressure. You're trying to squeeze the ball in there. You know that's your only option. And you got a bad wheel, so you can't plant very well to throw that ball, so you're using all arm.
All right, here's my question. You came out here after halftime. You said you listened to the adjustments that they wanted to make. I would not dare ask you until now, did they make the adjustments?
Not only did they make the adjustments, but they executed those adjustments. That's the key. So when I came out, I said, I saw the adjustment they want to make. Now can they execute it at a high level? And they did. One of the adjustments that they obviously talked about was look out for the stretch in the wheel down the side. And you saw Murphy running with his guy step for step. That's an adjustment that they made in at halftime. They never ran it first half, but it's something that they talked about at halftime. Look out for that coming out. Those kids adjusted and did it well.
Last year, the Hartley Hawks suffered losses not once, not twice, but 3 times to the Stallions of St. Francis DeSales. That third one stung the most. It was in a regional championship game. This year at Jack Ryan Field, the Hawks wind up on top. They win this game by the score of 31-20. They improved to 4-2 on the season. And Randall, again, it's all about the schedule. The first 4 games were daunting for this Hartley team. They finished 2-2 through the course of those first 4 games. They went up to Norwalk last week. They got a win there. They came back here in the opener, the league opener, playing against a team that they very much wanted to beat, and they got it done tonight.
Absolutely. And people kept saying, hey, your schedule gets easier as you go, right? But what people don't understand, these games all matter, especially when you have a crosstown rival. And there's a reason why they call this game the Ohio Game of Thrones. These are 2 elite programs that have championship after championship after championship, and they don't know how to lose. But when they're down, they know how to respond.
Well, there you see the pit student section as the Hartley Hawks come over to gather in front of it after the handshake. And here they come hustling over to celebrate with their classmates here at Jack Ryan Field tonight.
And you got to love it how the kids pay homage to their school and to their classmates, because that's who you play for. So when we started coaching here, and Andy Groom and John Hauser and those guys were playing, Aaron Purdue, so those are legends. And I remember John Hauser and Andy Groom said, hey, Coach, you think we should sing the alma mater after the game? I said, have you guys done that before? He said, nope. I said, well, let's try it then. But first you got to do is win. Just win, baby. We'll do whatever you want to do. So having guys like Andy Groom and legends like John Hauser, who's coaching down at Miami of Ohio, coaching elite players down there, starting traditions like that here, to see this tradition continue, that's what it's all about. Both schools are rich in tradition, and that's what carries them.
Tradition and winning tonight for the Hartley Hawks as they defeat DeSales once again by the final score of 31-20. And this is one that they will savor for the next 6 days. And this is one of those games, Randall, that when you come to school on Monday, you feel good on Monday.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we tell guys, you know, hey, celebrate the wins, because nobody understands how hard winning is. Winning is a difficult thing to do for elite athletes, for elite people. The average person gets up every day, goes to their job. They do the same job every single day for 30 years. Winning is not part of their equation. This right here, it's either you're winning or you're losing, and it feels good when you win. Celebrate it, enjoy it. And when you lose, it's like having burnt toast. Nobody likes it. Okay, you can't scrape it off. It's sitting on your tongue, and there's nothing you can do about it. You can't even swish it around with water. So enjoy a big-time win against a big-time program like Columbus DeSales.
There's nothing else I can say after that, my friend. There is nothing. And there is nothing to say except that the Hawks get the victory by 11 points here tonight. 31-20 is the final score. The celebration continues here at Jack Ryan Field, but that's going to do it for us. For Randall Sampson, I'm Bob McElligott saying good night and thanks for tuning in to Bishop Hartley Hawks football.
Tonight's game is being brought to you by Score on Air and the Ohio Media School, Dr. Hutta and Price Orthodontics, the Lance and Eileen Porter Foundation, Brick Leg Apparel, Ohio Athletic Performance, and Green Lawn RV.